Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Launch 3% Challenge, the livestream series where we're trying to beat Trails of Cold Steel 1's Nightmare Mode without ever changing our starting gear. And if you want to watch these challenge runs in your own time, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and boop that bell button to stay notified. When we last left off, we got absolutely annihilated by a giant ice monster inside of that, river over there. But at least we also had a lot of fun free time events with our classmates in Class 7, including Millium. Oh, Millium. I do not know what to think about you at this point. And Crow as well. But hello, Copper Nicholson. Thank you so much for dropping by. How you been? Welcome, welcome. Oh, a Star Trek animated series. Are you referring to Lower Depths, or is there something else?
My turn. Okay. Leave it to me.
So, what we'll be doing tonight is probably a lot of grinding since we got destroyed by that boss last stream. Which in a way is actually a good thing because we've been getting very lucky in the past couple of major boss battles, not getting completely destroyed by them. So this was kind of long overdue in a sense. That being said, we do need to make sure that we're able to progress, so I'll be doing quite a bit of grinding this stream. I want to aim for at least level 46 before we do another attempt, so yeah. That's a good question, Copper Nicholson. The thing is, I've heard that there is actually a community that supports the OG Star Trek animated series, which, you know, if they like it, power to them. I wasn't much of a fan, really, but especially the animation style really didn't, it was just very stiff for my perspective, but that's just how I see it. I think it more comes down to the, I don't want to say effort invested, more so the, what's a good way to say this? I think there's a number of reasons why a TV show might not go over so well. But one common thing I tend to see is, and this goes in game design too, is the idea of designing for what you think an audience would want versus the idea of making something that you personally would want to watch or play.
Here I
go! So, use an example from my personal life.
Is everybody okay?
When I was in college, I actually wanted to try and make a video game, but between the stresses of obviously getting a college degree and also trying to figure out a good life balance, it's what I only realized in hindsight is when I was trying to make a game, I was making a game that I thought people might like, but it wasn't a game that I personally would have necessarily wanted to play, or at least it wasn't something I could really sink my teeth into and say, yeah, this is a game I want to play because X, Y, and Z. It was more so, I think this would be a cool idea, let's make a game out of it. And that's whether it's a game, a TV show, a book, any sort of creative art, that's not a good place to be in. You wanna make something that really speaks to you.
This one's all ours. It's my turn.
And at least in my mind, I get the feeling that both of the Star Trek animated series, in one way or another, was meant to more so be something that maybe some producers or artists thought people would be interested in, and not necessarily the artists themselves who were making the content having a true, we'll say, a deep passion for it, if that makes sense. Okay, fair enough, Copper Nicholson. Again, to each their own. But I'm just saying, in general, that is a common theme I tend to notice in some TV shows, or games that just aren't very well received. Or just get lukewarm reception.
Alright.
My turn. Here.
Right.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Oh, we got Nightmare, nice.
Let's keep going.
I'm impressed with how much XP we get from these enemies, by the way. It's just because there's so many of them in each of these battles. For those who are wondering why I have Pro out of all people, it's because he has a ranged attack, which makes it much easier to what's it called? Get the advantage, which when we're about to enter an encounter.
We have the advantage.
My turn.
Okay, anything to ship? In that case. Grim Butterfly!
Yes, sir.
Let's try Yggdrasil, I'm curious.
Okay.
Oh, Petrify happened. That's cool.
Don't mess with us.
That's fair enough, Copper Nicholson. And that's why I'm saying it's those tend to be signs that that could be a sign that either there isn't a passion for that or things like that. And, oh my goodness! Whoa, Jake Eagle the Eagle, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate it. How's it going? Yeah, 2 months. How about that? Welcome. Welcome to a stream where we are trying to train up to face that giant ice monster that absolutely annihilated us. And we'll also be, though that'll involve a lot of grinding for experience points here, aiming to reach level 46. We're also discussing why some creative works aren't as necessarily well received due to, we'll say, a lack of interest or engagement on the part of the developer or artist or producer in what they're actually making. Hey, Red North! Thank you so much for dropping by, man. How you been? Welcome. KK Sports, hello. Thanks for dropping by. How's it been? How's it going? Oh, you're playing GLACIAL. I actually have not heard of that game before. What is that? GLACIAL is a browser classic. If it's a browser classic, how have I not heard about it? Like, what is the game about, Crackdoor? What was it about, KK Sports? Oh, just on lunch. Nice shit, Eagle Beagle.
Arcus, my turn.
Okay.
But yeah, what is GLACIAL? Now you have me curious, chat. Now you have me curious. Alright, a puzzle game where you gotta move a 2x1 3D block to the goal, and you gotta navigate narrow passages within it. Okay. So it's kind of like, I remember there used to be like this old little board game with these little plastic cars in a parking lot where you try to like slide the cars and get all of the cars out of the parking lot. Block search from that stream now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a fun game. It's just puzzle games. I don't think are really my cup of tea. Not saying I haven't ever played fun puzzle games. I mean, I enjoy Portal 2 and Portal. I also like when I was a kid. I actually really liked playing Myst 3 Exile and even Myst. And those games are notoriously challenging puzzle games. Never beat either of them though, but I was able to make some amount of progress.
Eat left. Now's our chance. We can do
But
this.
I think the thing about me with puzzles games is it's entertaining, but there isn't really. I guess most puzzle games I've seen don't have a lot of room for creative solutions, or I guess more than one valid solution. So that's one area where it doesn't appeal to me as much as I love, as I will put it, doing things the wrong way in games. Whether that's going somewhere early in Dark Souls, or maybe going to an area early that you're not supposed to. But that's just me. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind, Record. Opus Magnum and Space 10. Interesting. Hello, Baymar. Thanks for dropping by. How you been? Welcome. It's going well. We're just, we are in the middle of a quest to try and not get annihilated by the ice monster again. And in order to support that quest, we are grinding to level 46 to see if that'll help.
My turn.
Arcus.
Yep. There we go. Oh, we got double XP that one. That's nice. We are getting there, slowly but surely. Yo, you own an incredibly rare board game? Nice. You definitely play it if you get the chance. Have fun with it. Yeah, I agree with Drekor. How did you find that?
Eat left.
Oh, actually, you know what, chat? You know what's another puzzle game that I think is really cool? That I was actually watching Carl Sagan 42 play a few days ago. Have you heard of, chat? Have you heard of a game called Baba Is You?
Arcus.
Okay.
Ah, well, I see you've heard of it, Drekor.
Leave it to me. Arcus.
My turn. Here.
Ah, okay. Yep, so what I find fascinating about Baba Is You, well, there's a couple of things I find fascinating about. Yeah, Carl's bad, exactly. No, but one of the things I find fascinating about Baba Is You is it's basically a visualization of if-then statements in a hilarious manner. So the idea of actually moving around blocks that affect, like, conditions for different, Yep, exactly, Drekor. Carl Sagan 42, for those who don't know, is a very funny Twitch streamer and biologist. He loves talking about science, but more importantly, he's well known for his, we'll say, hey, hilariously evil Super Mario Maker 2 troll levels.
Eat left.
So basically, he's known as a satanic level designer. But oh, nice, Baymark. Cool. Glad to hear you did that. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm just trying to fill in about Carl Sagan 42. So Carl played Baba Is You, and I actually like the design of it as a puzzle game because most of the levels can be completed in unconventional ways because of the nature of how the game works. As an example, in some levels, you can literally change the win condition for the level. So instead of being like flat is win, you could say Baba is win, and then you just win by or it could be you is win, then you just win by default. It's hilarious. But I just think that's so cool. And the other thing that's interesting about Baba Is You, chat, is, believe it or not, it was made using the same Quick Team software that I'm using to make Hartwell. So Baba Is You was made by that same software line. I'm not sure if it was Multimedia Fusion 2 or Quick Team Fusion 2.5, but it was in fact made by those with that kind of software. And how do I know these things?
We can do this.
Well, the reason I know these things is because one of the most annoying limitations of Quick Team Fusion 2.5 is its complete inability to effectively stretch out an image to fill a monitor in full screen mode. What tends to happen, especially if you have a 2D raster-based graphics for a game, is if you try to make a full screen version of that game, it stretches the image in such a bizarre way that it just looks, it's just ugly to look at. Like, imagine what happens when you go into a graphics editor, maybe you draw a little rectangle around image, and then you just right-click and drag diagonally at an awkward angle. That's effectively what happens to your view if you try to go into a full screen that isn't a perfect one-to-one ratio of what your original frame size was. And now you might be saying, well, hold on, Antomicx. Baba Is You can kind of sort of go full screen, so what are you talking about? Well, believe it or not, that's actually not full screen. That's the ultimate full screen extension for Quick Team Fusion 2.5.
Yeah.
Which, exactly, Baymark 43. It looks like the stretched Game Boy Color games on a GBA, exactly, when the image gets super stretched. But, as I was saying, Baba Is You uses the ultimate full screen extension for Quick Team Fusion 2.5, which isn't actually full screen. What it does is it makes the window so large that it goes off the screen, and then it aligns the window so that it looks full screen and then has these dark bars around the outside in order to make it feel more full screen. So, if you watch Carl play Baba as you and you notice that there are these dark bars around what looks like the playable area, that's why. It's part of the limitations of Flip-Team Fusion 2.5. And as for how that ties into Hartwell, I tried really, really hard to make some kind of full screen thingy work. And the issue is, with the way I've designed Hartwell and trying to make it, at least we'll say the relative sizes of things similar to what I've seen in Crosscode, in order to allow range combat to be viable, it makes it so that it's in a weird slot with the aspect ratio size where I can't multiply it by 2 without having it take up more of a size than the screen is, and thus the ultimate full screen extension would provide no value to me in that regard, since the only thing that would happen is if I tried to use the ultimate full screen extension but I want to maintain that graphic quality, all I would do is keep literally the same size playable window but just throw a bunch of black bars around the side of the window. So, oh, for sure, Grethdor. That's why I'm saying it's really impressive, because in my head, I can imagine the kinds of lines the developer must have done, like the sort of ifs-then statements to avoid, to allow for all those different combinations of events to occur. It really is something else.
My turn.
So,
It's my turn.
what they probably did, I'll get to that in a second. But first, yeah, so what I'm basically saying is, that's why when the Hartwell demo does come out, at least for now, there won't be an ability to go into a full screen mode, just because the best I'd be able to do is simply point a bunch of black bars around the same size screen. So, again, not sure what your opinions are on that, chat. I'm just stating, a limitation that I'm dealing with my software.
My turn.
Well, I mean, with the software I use, I should say. Now, as for how Baba Is You was probably made, since I am someone who's fairly familiar with Flip-Team Fusion 2.5, I gotta believe the developer did something probably used a ton of flags with the active objects that they use for in each of the levels in Baba Is You. So, what a flag is, chat, is it's basically it can either be a 1 or a 0, basically an on or an off, a true or a false. It's like a little checkbox that you can define for each active object. So an active object might be Baba, it might be the flag, it might be a skull, it might be a wall. Oh, if you want to live stream Copper Nicholson, I'd say get a computer, go on to Twitch, get OBS, and try to do a stream setup. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
But as I was saying,
Yeah. Here I go.
what they probably did is they probably used
We
a
should
lot
be
of
safe now.
flags to determine what different effects things would have when they interact with each other. If you don't have a computer, then, I mean, you can always get a capture card for a, what's it called? A capture card for a console that you use, and then use your phone to try and work how things work on Twitch. I'm jerry-rigging a setup a bit there.
We can do this.
But yeah, what I imagine is, let's say, for example, there's a flag for an object in Baba Is You that all the objects have called is obstacle. And if that flag is checked, then that means that whichever active object is defined as the player, if that player object tries to move onto the same tile as an obstacle object, it stops the player object from doing that. No, I said jerry-rig, Copper Nicholson. It means try to put something together.
Okay. My turn.
Capture. Oh yeah, capture card. That's what I said. Great, Bamer.
We should be safe
But-
now.
Ooh, Cypher reached level 4. What does this do? He gets Chrono Break! That's awesome! 60% chance? That's really good. Offensive Arsenal status now. What? This is like the ultimate status, okay then.
Great.
I see Pro likes the status effects. Yeah, but as I was saying, the idea is that you would have a bunch of different flags that provide different properties to each object. And whether those flags are active or not determines how it works in the Bob Is You situation. Similarly, my guess is I can picture at least two different ways I shouldn't say he, the developer, because I don't know if Bob Is You was made by a guy or a girl. But fair enough, KK Swartz. It doesn't like the program you use. Well, I mean, I'd be very curious about that because there are different ways to try and set that up. Like if your program can have a windowed mode of some kind, then I feel like OBS should be able to pick it up. But it does require some getting used to, I would say. So I mean, if you want to post specific issues you're having with OBS, trying to make it work for the art software you use, feel free to post that here or in the Discord, and we can try to figure it out. As I mean, I've certainly had situations where OBS has done things that I don't want it to do.
It's my turn. My turn. Oh, we should be safe now.
Ooh, that's a lot of XP. Let's know all about.
I did it.
Nice. But yeah, as for how, like, you can get a situation in Baba Is You where maybe, let's say you say instead of you did that situation where you just say wall is flat and then suddenly all the walls become flags, or vice versa. You can have flat as wall and all the flags become walls. What, Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rector. Well, if there's anything specifically you want me to go over, feel free to ask. But what I was saying is, I'm imagining the way that the developer probably made the effects in Baba Is You, where you can have one object become something else, like turning a crab into a wall or vice versa, is either by essentially immediately destroying, we'll say, a crab object and creating a wall object with its same properties in its place, or actually using just the same active object beneath the surface and then just having different animations for the different things it displays. So for example, Baba, the wall, the flag, the crab, etc. They're all actually the same type of objects behind the scenes. And instead, what's happening is, or what I imagine might be happening, is the developer had to choose which animations displaying, whether that's Baba, or a wall, or a flat, etc. Hey, cool, too, thanks for dropping by, how you been? Oh, you're playing Puyo Tetris 2, nice, congrats. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if this were the Heartwell dev stream, the things I'm saying about active objects and flags would probably make a lot more sense, because you'd actually be able to see what I'm talking about. But that's kind of my perspective looking at a game that was made with the same software that I'm using. And speaking of a Heartwell dev stream, I think it's actually pretty close to meeting the goal. So if that interests you, chat, feel free to contribute to it.
Eat left. Eat left.
That's interesting. Oh, and Breckwood, nice to finishing the community challenge. I really appreciate it. Well, that means we now have to figure out a date for that. Cold Studios has background Instagram that streams. That's a good. The thing about that, Breckwood, is I don't want to get copyright striked. It's alright, Cold too. It's alright. It's the thought that counts. Now, granted, we've been playing Trails of Cold Steel without any issue whatsoever. But that's. Oh yeah, Kevin McLeod could be a good thing. Well, here's the thing, chat. At some points, what I could do is I could literally just use Hartwell's soundtrack as the background music at some point. But the thing is, I don't have too many songs right now, and I don't. And the music I do have is short and repetitive, and it might fit for a game perspective. But I don't think it'd be great to listen to on loop over and over and over and over and over again while I'm developing.
Yes, sir!
But, let me think about this. Well, to be fair, we don't get copyright strike when we're playing the music here, so it's kind of in a bit of a gray area. I guess my question is, Gretgor, what did the Crosscode devs do when they were developing? Like, because I know they were able to stream developing their game without much issue.
Yeah.
I think, you know, they could be susceptible to computer viruses, Copper Nicholson. Did I get a new microphone? No, Cool 2. I have the same microphone. I think it just might be that I was a little bit more tired on Tuesday. So I might have sounded a bit different. They might have, Ruckle, I don't know. If someone in chat could check that, I actually really appreciate it. In the meantime, we need to figure out a date to do the dev stream. So, my thought would be, if we were to do a dev stream, I would want to do it on a day where I could go as late as I want to, as well as give people enough time in advance to, I guess, mark their calendars, so to speak. So, how would Thursday the 26th sound to you, chat? At our normally scheduled streaming times. Oh dear.
All right.
Yes, sir!
Whoops.
My turn.
Okay.
The reason I picked that day in particular, no. I said August 26th. Copper Nicholson. August 26th.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, okay, Dractor. Oh, they didn't use any music at all. Interesting.
Is everybody okay?
Okay, fair enough, Dractor. Thanks for looking into that. But yeah, chat, would you all be okay with Thursday, August 26th at our normal stream time? For a Hartwell dev stream? Okay, fair enough. Awesome. Alright, in that case, I'll try to make an announcement on the Discord server at some point. It'll be interesting because this will be the first time that I'll truly be, I guess, publicly broadcasting what I'm working on, so... aside from the devlog videos I put on the Discord, so it'll be a learning experience, but it should be a lot of fun.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Declassified Hartwell, oh no! It hasn't even been finished yet, no!
Yes, sir.
There's even a demo yet, okay. Although, yeah, as for what to do during the dev stream, there's a bunch of different things I could potentially do. I could see myself maybe working on some art assets, or making a level, doing some programming work. I could also see myself, and again, these wouldn't all be in the same stream. I'm just saying these are the types of activities that could be shown. I could also... Oh, what's that, Dracor? They use Xenoblade music as the background, and they streamed on Twitch, and they were fine? Okay, in that case... And the video is up on YouTube, and there hasn't been any problem. Okay. Then... Well... Then... Maybe Cold Steel Music would be okay? Maybe?
We can do this!
I mean, I love the Cold Steel soundtrack. It's just, you know, the whole idea of you don't want to get copyright strike is the thing.
Right.
It's my turn.
Arcus, leave it to me.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I think
We should be safe now.
what we could do, chat, is we could try it, and if there is a, well, I would always try sticking with fair use stuff to start out with, but I mean, if they're able to do like Xenoblade music, then I feel like Cold Steel music will probably be okay as long as Falcom or Bandai Namco doesn't have a history of issuing tons of copyright strikes for playing music in the background. So that'd be the first thing I would want to know personally. Is if there are, you know, game developers companies that are fine with people using the music as background music, then that's probably fine. It's more so a situation where I think the Pokemon company or ShowPro is especially stringent on what music from Pokemon can be played in the background. Which is a shame because there's.
It's my turn.
I feel like, you know, if you're putting your music out there, it actually gets more people invested in what you're working on. But whatever.
Making progress.
Please hold your applause.
Nice. We are getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting there. But yeah. So anyway, the types of things that could potentially be done in a dev stream would be art, programming, level design, and music. Those are the kinds of things I would see being like strong contenders for what to actually do during a dev stream.
Eat less.
But as for which ones to go for, I'd actually be curious to hear from you, chat. Which of those do you think you'd be most interested in seeing? As I mean, personally, I'd lean most towards level design, but that's just because it would be the most visual, and you'd also get to see some of my programming work. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear from you.
Eat less. This one's all off. My turn.
My turn.
Wow, that turtle is a little too close to Millium. Ah! What? Stop dumping on my hands, you turtle! Just for that, I'm going to pierce you with. I'm going to throw rocks at you.
Okay. The battle's over, but stay alert, everyone.
Okay, fair enough, Rector. So.
I did it! I did it!
Millium's too cute to be eaten by turtles, so no. Okay, so you're saying, Rector, there was just tons of copyright music and there was just no problem. Okay, that maybe that does fall under fair use. In which case, yeah, maybe the Trails of Cold Steel needs to would make sense. This is good background music. I also think maybe some tracks from Octopath Traveler would be nice. And basically just maybe some crosscode music too. Just basically RPG stuff. So. Let's keep grinding. Yep. Oh no, Copper Nicholson, why? We need to reach level 46. Yeah, that's the thing, Rock. It'll be very hard to focus. So for developing music, I'd either want something that like pumps me up or something that's nice background music. I would not want something distracting, if that makes sense.
This one's all off. All right. My turn.
Yeah, definitely would want to focus on like RPG music to fit with the theme. since Hartwell will be an action
Here I
RPG.
go. Here.
Is everybody okay?
Let's get the turtle.
We have the advantage.
My turn. Arcus.
My turn. Arcus. Okay.
Right.
That's
Is
a media
everybody
share
okay?
chat with trolls. How does media share work, Blackcore? If you don't mind me asking. Is that where it's like you post a link and then it comes up on stream?
Eat left. Now's our chance. We can do this.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Too. I hope you had a good night's sleep tonight. Sleep
My
is
turn.
important. Oh, you mean like a meme stream, Dratgor? That is a thing. I mean, if that interested you guys, that could be another possibility for a community stream, but there is always concerns about, you know, sending
Alright.
stuff that's completely inappropriate, or things along those lines. Wait, the speedrunning Mario Odyssey while I was going on? What? Why? That sounds hilarious. My only concern there would be if some troll in chat put something inappropriate up. Antomicx beam review, yes. Actually, no, better yes.
Now's our chance.
Have Antomicx meme stream where the Discord server just comes up with your best memes for me, whether it's a Hartwell or these Twitch streams, just as many as you can come up with. And then we go through each of the memes and see my reaction. that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, probably. But that interesting, chat. That could be added to our community stream idea list. We could also have, I guess, some kind of community appreciation day or something where I know Feymata likes to do the Friday flex, which is where people would send her things they liked that they did during that week on Twitter, and Faye would talk about it and give them compliments and give them words of encouragement.
All right.
That's something else we could consider.
It's my turn.
Hey, actually, though, the thing is, though, chat, I know you all can be very creative. I've seen what you do in the Discord server, so you could probably come up with a bunch of silly memes related to the Trails of Cold Steel memes, or the No It's Fee streams, or the Palmless streams, or even Hartwell. It'd be interesting to see what you all could come up with. And then at the end of it, I could come up with like a meme tier list or something, and we could officially rank them just for funsies. Oh, actually, speaking of which, chat, what if we did tier lists related to some of the things we do? Whether it be like, what if we did a tier list related to the Trails of Cold Steel, or to the Crosscode, or Gregor? Why? Why? We can be funny, but keep it wholesome, Gregor. Why, Copper Nicholson? Exactly. I agree with Cool too here. Gregor, why?
Now's our chance. We can do this.
My turn.
My turn.
Yeah, that's another thing we could potentially think of if it interests you, Chad, is the
Okay.
fair enough, Gregor. Thank you for the apology. But we could definitely consider something like that, where Antomicx themed meme night or something like that.
My turn. Here. Well, that's that. Let's get
And people
going.
will be allowed to send in as many submissions as they want to, so that way we have plenty to go through. And now we return to get more magic. When you wander around playful states and you see a random butt on the track. Oh, that would definitely be a Hartwell meme. That's so accurate. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, if there was like attachments to that quote, that'd be great. The thing is though, chat, when the demo comes out, I feel like there'll be a lot more potential for memes. And I'll leave it at that. No! Confidential said no!
We'll have to... Okay.
Uh-oh. Oh, we have made a mistake.
We should retreat. Oh no.
Get us out of here!
Oh, let's get going.
Oh, cool, Brett. Well, that sounds like a fun challenge. Oh, I wish you had some luck with that.
Now's our chance. Let's smash them.
I mean, to be fair, the demo is only going to have, I think, 4 weapons, 2 of which are the default ones, so that those being fists and rocks. So, only 4 weapons total for the demo. Because the demo is meant to be well, it's supposed to go... If I were to use Dark Souls as a comparison, it would be up to the end of the Undead Asylum, so to speak. Just relatively speaking. Now, I'm not saying... Now, Hartwell's going to obviously have a different, starting area than what you had in Dark Souls. But... Oh, no worries, Trapdoor. There will be more than one boss. But, keep in mind that it's meant to be a tutorial area, so don't expect me to go full ham on in terms of what I'm capable of with boss design, because I am designing it with the perspective of these are meant to be the first bosses that you would have the chance to face in the game. Not, I want to design something that will completely destroy the player because I love really, really challenging boss battles. If that made sense, Crackor. Now that being said, I do think that it'll give you a decent idea for what to expect in terms of dungeon design and how Hartwell is structured as a game, because I think it there's so many things I'm doing with it that are a bit different from what I'm used to playing. Like for example, the idea that there's no non-replenishable consumable items, and also the fact that each weapon is basically, you can level up each weapon individually and has its own unique stuff.
We have the advantage.
My turn.
So, there's a lot, and of course there'll be the system involving what I will call how the branching narrative elements work and what happens after you defeat a boss, because all that stuff I think will be fairly unique to the game, at least in its genre.
My turn.
Mario 64 chat controls today. That does sound like an interesting idea for streaming KJ Sparks. There are only 2 potential problems I see with that. 1, I do not own a Nintendo 64 or a Nintendo Switch. And 2, I have no idea how to set that up.
Here I go.
But I would be interested in more, we'll say, chat interactive kind of streams. If there are things out there that are more, we'll say, user-friendly. But yeah, I do like the idea of like chat-based streams. They can be a lot of fun.
Eat that.
Exactly. It does sound like absolute horrible chaos. And also, if you want adorable chaos, that would be the Hat in Time just multiplayer mode. Just allows up to 50 people to play Hat in Time all at once. It's complete overkill in the best way possible.
We have the advantage. Here I go. Arcus.
Right.
You know, things really hate grim butterflies, so...
It's my turn.
Bada bang, bada boop.
Arcus.
My turn. Oh, we did it.
There we go.
Eat that.
Anyway, I am really excited for the Hartwell demo. It's just, I know I still have quite a lot to do before it's finished. But the thing is, chat, I'm getting to the point where I will soon be starting to make actual, like, levels and rooms and stuff like that, rather than just building the foundation for the game. And to me, that's very exciting, because I have been so raring to do that for a while.
Now's our chance.
But I definitely needed to
My turn.
lay the groundwork first. Oh, I see. Read a message as Laura. This Dorothy you speak of, how committed is she to fighting evil? The answer may surprise you. No. What I mean by that, chat, is Hartwell is a branching narrative game, so you can make choices that might be considered good, bad, or something in between. So, which is to say, chat, if you've ever played Undertale, you know that not every route is wholesome or good. And that's completely up to the player. So keep that in mind.
All right.
It's my turn.
But in terms of if you're asking in general, like if I were to say, okay, Antomicx, what is the quote unquote true route of Hartwell? Is Dorothy committed to fighting evil? And to that, I'd say, hey, sure, I think Dorothy could be a very, like, we'll say the good routes. Dorothy could be a very wholesome and good-hearted character. But that's up to, I want to leave that at least to the player to some extent. I'm not going to say anything about that comprehensible sin because spoilers. So, that's the other thing is when asking questions to the Hartwell, you're allowed to ask anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to answer it. And the reason I say that is it could be a spoiler, or it could just be that's information I might not have an answer to. But either way, anything that may or the act of not answering something is not confirmation of anything. It just means that I am not answering it, and I have the right to do that.
Here I go.
Fair enough, KK Sports, fair enough. Ooh, you created a poster. Nice! A Nepto Sugar Girls poster. Awesome, KK Sparks. I try to remember, was that a reference to Steins Gate? Because it sounds like it.
Oh, we did it.
Whoa! Elliot and Reem reached link level 4. Nice. Art support? What? What? Hold on a second. Read, what is this? Sometimes increases the power of partner drugs by 1.2x. Excuse me? What? That's a thing? Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. Oh, it is a shame that hit Elliot's link level with MIS at level 4, because that would just be disgusting in the best way possible. But it does mean that if I were to link Elliot with Reen and Reen used Crystal Flood, it would probably hit like a truck, so, I mean... Oh, Reed. Giving you the... What was the name of that ordinance? Giving you the Ares ordinance, it has been... was definitely the right choice.
Now's our chance. We can do this. My turn.
But anyway, I will say this though, chat. If when you did get the chance to play the Heartwell demo again, it's still I would still say it's months away because I still have plenty to do. But when the Heartwell demo is eventually playable, it will. I think at least if you're picking the good choices, it will definitely be. At least I would think it's somewhat wholesome. I'm just like myself, but also hopefully have some deep. Hopefully have some fun philosophical quandaries and morality quandaries and things of that nature. Because I do like I do like it when I have games that make people think, and also have games that are able to connect with people in a meaningful way. So anyway.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's fan made anime on YouTube. It had. Oh, interesting, KJ Sparks. I'll have to keep that in mind. Cool. Oh, so you game dev? Go on, Dreadlord, go on.
Oh, we should be safe now.
Okay, we're definitely getting there, though it's very, very slow going at this point. Which makes sense. We're probably approaching the... We're probably approaching the over-level cap. And then we'd best be studying too, we'll say that the jellyfish enemies, just because they always seem to have a lot. No, it's okay, Drakor. We can keep reminding you to work on stuff. Have you worked on anything recently, or not really? Because if you need motivation, I'll gladly provide it. I did notice, Grekor, if I remember on the Discord server, you made a post about some pseudocode, and it seemed to help you out, and that's great, because, I mean...
This one's all ours.
I'm telling you, writing stuff out in advance really helps you organize your thoughts, especially if you're making a complex system of some kind. Oh, awesome! That's a good thing, Grekor. You know, get the base systems out of the way so you can focus on the main gameplay. That's a very good thing to do. But yeah, the question I had when I was in school is, why would you ever want to make pseudocode when you could be writing the code itself? But the answer is, pseudocode helps you work out the logic of what you're trying to make, and it's extremely important to do that.
Okay.
And it saves you a lot of time in the development process by planning it out. Awesome, Grekor.
Oh, we did it!
Sounds like there's a thunderstorm outside, chat. Not sure if you can hear that, but it happens. Yeah, Upper Nicholson, don't sell yourself short. Everyone's gotta start somewhere. Just keep... My advice to any writer is keep writing anything. Keep building your world. Keep practicing your craft. Experience is the only way... Experience is the best teacher. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Just as playing lots of video games can help you understand examples of good and bad game design, reading lots of books and stories can help you appreciate good and bad examples of writing. Exactly, Bradford, exactly.
Eat left! Now's our chance! We can do this! My turn!
Alright, so... Everyone just use Grim Butterfly, these things hate that. Well, except for you, Millium, because you don't have that. Grim Butterfly.
Focus!
Yeah!
Grim Butterfly.
Yeah!
Exactly, Grekor. reading a wide variety of stuff can actually help a watch, as it gives you ideas you might not otherwise have. The same thing goes with game design. One of my... Oh, for sure, Gretgor, for sure. Millium deserves... Oh, sure, Millium deserves all the HUDs. Everyone deserves all the HUDs in the stages. All these characters are all so interesting in their own ways. Except for you, Sarah. You don't count. Oh, come on now, Antomicx. Do you really not like me that much? Yes, I don't. Ah, whatever. I mean, to be fair, I enjoy Sarah for her snarky comments, and I think she's a fun character. She's just a horrible teacher, and definitely not a good role model. So... Well, Copper Nicholson, there is a proper way to leave a job, and that's to be upfront with your boss about it, and to give them the however many weeks notice they're expecting you to give them before you leave. So what you do is, you go up to your boss and say, hey, I think I want to leave my job. How much time would I have to remain until I can leave? And then that would, or you could say I want to quit. How long until I'm allowed to quit? And then you go through that process. And you can be honest with them about why you're quitting.
We have the advantage.
Or why you're leaving your job, so that it's on good terms. Because you have to remember, Copper Nicholson, lots of people will have to leave old jobs in order to go to new ones. That's perfectly normal. So as long as you're upfront and honest about it, you should be good. And remember, that's not a reflection on
My turn.
You disliking the job or anything like that. It's more so a reflection of, hey, I'm taking a new direction with my life, or I found a new opportunity, and that's what I'm going to pursue now.
It's my turn.
For sure, KK Sparks, for sure. If you want a great story in terms of action and story building, I think, well, yeah, I think the Hunger Games does an excellent job with that. In terms of romance, though, the thing is, romance is extremely subjective. And oftentimes, I find myself annoyed by some of the more unrealistic, we'll say, portrayals of romance in writing. Whether it's the idea of love at first sight, or just really speeding things along at an unrealistic pace. Like, I get that there's only so much time in a story to tell the story, but I do appreciate it when romances are portrayed in, I guess, a more organic way. So, what would be an example? Yeah, you might be saying, well, okay, Antomicx, what's an example of a good romance in in some form of media? Let me think about this for a second. I think... Well, I mean, have you read the Hunger Games books, Copper Nicholson? They're fantastic dystopian novels. The thing is, I would also recommend Ender's Game, but I don't think Ender's Game has as much action. It's much more of thought games and strategy, but it's still really, really intense and engaging. I guess
leave it to me.
Okay, fair enough. I guess it depends which girl's in Persona. To be fair, since there's different qualities at different stages of story and things like that. But let's think in terms of like I try to think of what's a romance that I felt was portrayed very realistically and honestly, and. Because, I mean, like, I can like romances in various games or visual novels whilst recognizing that there are some unrealistic aspects of it. For example, Kaede and Suichi in Danganronpa V3, I think, you know, they are clearly an OTP. But at the same time, it's like they only had a few days to really get to meet each other. And while it was under extreme circumstances... The thing is, though, it's just under such extreme circumstances, such a short time. I don't feel like it's... I mean, I guess it could happen, but it doesn't come across as realistic as if it happened over the course of multiple years, if that makes sense. Fair enough, cool, too.
My turn.
Yep. Try to have realistic and relatable romances. Oh, actually, I take it back. There is one game I can think of off the top of my head that I think handled romance pretty well. And that's the final season of the Walking Dead video, Telltale's The Walking Dead video games.
Oh, we did it.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's about. Whoa, I just got apparently I just got an achievement called Flawless Jewel for maxing out a, someone's master course. That's awesome. Maelstrom? What? What? Excuse me? Recover 50%. What? Reduced AT delay after War Arts. AT delay. Whoa, that's amazing. I approve. Oh yeah, Founder's Game's great, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, the final season of Telltale's The Walking Dead video games, I felt portrayed romance in a pretty realistic way because of the nature of the game and its choose your own adventure style. They actually let you kind of, you can choose to either have a romance with, for those who don't know, you play as a character named Clementine, and in that game, in a fairly organic way, you can choose to have a romance with either a guy or a girl, or you can choose to just be platonic with them. So already they give you that realistic choice there. And on top of that, with that romance, they give you tons of I'd say fairly realistically portrayed interactions about the nervousness on going on that first date and trying to figure out the ins and outs of a relationship. And you can take it either really, really slow or super quick and passionately, and that's all, you know, depending on the type of person you are. And I think that's that's a much more realistic and mature way to portray a relationship, because that's closer to what it's like in real life, is going through all those awkward moments of recognizing that you and someone else feel the same way about each other and trying to negotiate what a relationship is like. And one second, chat, let me read that result. 1 second. Fair enough, Cool, too. Fair enough. I enjoy shipping in general, just because I think it's fun to imagine characters together. But I just enjoy world building in general, and shipping is just one small aspect of world building. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Copper Nicholson. And so, okay. Which, oh, that you're talking about in Ruby, Grector. Fair enough. No, Grector, no. Why would you ever do that? No. I have played Stardew Valley Cool too, and I do think the romances can be fairly well portrayed there. At least while I was playing Stardew Valley. Lotus Spot, thanks for dropping by. How you been? As I was saying, I think it was Penny was the character I was interested in romancing when I was playing Stardew Valley. And I felt like the few interaction cutscenes we had with her as a teacher and trying to raise kids, it was really wholesome, and I liked it. Oh, you guessed it. Fair enough, Texas. Okay, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, chat, you've seen the types of characters I find the most interesting in terms of romanceable companions, whether that's Emily in Crosscode, or Toa in Trails of Cold Steel. I think it's fair enough. Anyway.
Is everybody okay?
Oh yeah, Fish and Stardew Valley is quite interesting. Fair enough, Sweat Tip. Though, to be fair, I really enjoy Penny as a character in Ruby as well. She's one of my favorite characters, but that's beside the point. Fair enough, Kowal too. You know what? In that case, chat, we all know Toa is my favorite character in Trails of Cold Steel, but as for you, chat, what's your favorite character in this game and why? Fair enough, Alright, fair enough. Well, okay, fair enough, Truffle. You do enjoy Emma. Well, then the question becomes why. Because I know for me, the reason I like Toa the most as a character is I feel she is... I feel she is the most morally upright of all... It's not just that I feel like she's the most morally upright of all the characters, but I love the fact that she puts the needs of others before herself. I like the fact that she has really good leadership qualities. And just all in all, is someone that you would want to be best friends with at minimum.
Yeah.
Oh, you like Emma because she's nice, kind, but also brave and mysterious? Fair enough, Driftwood, fair enough.
Leave it to me.
Fair enough, KK Sparks. Well, in that case, I would say describe character archetypes that you find interesting, that you tend to gravitate towards the most, KK Sparks, and I can try and point you in the direction of some of the characters that we've encountered in Trails of Cold Steel that you might find the most interesting.
Is everybody okay?
Fair enough for Walter. Yeah, those are great reasons to like Rean. Rean does have his moments of snark, but he is also polite. He's definitely, he tries to be a good role model for others. He has an interesting backstory. He's helpful, as even Toas called him reliable old Rean. And fair enough for Walter. Fair enough. Okay. So you like Millium though, just because every time she shows up I make the funny noises. Fair enough. Fair enough, Spectre. Sarah is a fun character. Alright, fair enough. There might be other characters later in the games. Good to know, good to know. I mean, in terms of the character I think is the funniest, I think it's pretty obvious who I think that is. But, for the sake of arguments, she shall remain nameless. Oh, come on, Antomicx. You really have to leave them in suspense. We already know it's me. Well, yes, of course, me. But regardless, yeah, it's me. It's after Comfort Nipples. It's surprising no one. Oh no, you're right, Cool too. I never noticed that, but you're right. Rean does kinda, sorta look like Phoenix Wright. I mean, he's not the hair color, but I mean, Phoenix Wright really keeps his hair kind of pushed back, whereas Rean is kind of more neutral. But yeah, Fee's amazing. Alright, so KK Sparks, you like really optimistic and fun characters, you like smooth-talking and cool characters, dark and mysterious, and sometimes the kind and dorky characters. Okay, well the thing is, KK Sparks, for each of those archetypes I can point you to someone different. So for optimistic and fun, that's definitely... That's probably either Millium or Toa. For smooth-talking and cool, that's Crow, which is right here. So Millium, this is definitely one of the most optimistic and fun characters. In terms of dark and mysterious, I know you're talking about personality. But it's like, if we want dark and mysterious, that would probably be C, I want to say. Because she, not C, C, so the guy, whoever the guy is in that mask would probably be the most dark and mysterious character. As well as the kind and dorky characters, you could argue that's Toa, Rean, or even Elliot. Elliot or Emma as well, so they would kind of fit that bill as well.
My turn!
It's my turn!
Alright! Eat left!
That's actually a good point, Dreadful. I never thought about it that way. Millium does, they definitely do, act sort of like that as good ways to pace the story by throwing in something funny. But whereas Millium does it by, being upbeat or doing something that's completely outlandish for her age, Fee is Fee. She loves her sarcasm. Okay, fair enough. You think you'll love Millium? Well... here's, just for funsies, KK Sparks. Well, actually, what I'm going to do, KK Sparks, is I'm going to show you something else that you can consider adorable or terrifying, depending on your perspective. I'll show you Millium's S-Craft after this battle, of course, just so that you can see what it's like. Since I feel like the S-Crafts do a good job of at least showcasing a character's traits a little bit. Well, let me just see if I can set this up. Oh, good to know, cool, too. So I'm just saying, characters that are stoic, nerd characters, so kind characters. There's definitely good mixes of all that. You got Machias, you got Emma, you got Elliot. True. Her hat is adorable. That is true. But yeah, let's if you're still here, KK Sparks, let's show you Millium's Guardian Breaker just for funsies. So, for those who don't know, in this game there are these things called S-Crafts, which are essentially like super attacks. And they tend to be really, really over the top in the best way possible. So, just for funsies.
It's my turn.
My turn.
Let me know what you think of this.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Millium, I want you to annihilate them. Are you sure that's a good idea? Well, okay, let's go for Guardian Breaker.
Come on, Lammy.
Also, Millium has a robot named Lammy that's supposed to be like a war machine. It becomes a giant hammer and does, well, this. And they're all definitely dead. Anyway, and I agree, Grandpa. Millium is, with her S-Craft, good at deleting things as well as Fee. So I think Fee might do... Actually, no, Millium definitely has a really high damaging attack. Millium gonna take to DDD to bond over their hammers, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yep. Spot tip. Now, to be fair, the other thing about Millium that's interesting is that she's only 13 years old, and if for some reason she's an intelligence operative, I don't understand why. I mean, she has this robot, but does that really qualify her? Yeah, exactly. Millium, are you cute or terrifying? Yes! Anyway. Because anime. Okay, fair enough. Gregor, fair enough. Anyway, I think this would actually be a good spot to take a break, so don't worry, guys. I will be right back. Alrighty, chat. Welcome back, everybody.
Right.
We are getting really close to getting our party members to level 46. So after that, we'll try and give the ice boss a try again to see how things might go. Oh yeah, eBay is still a thing, Spudkep. It's useful as like an online auctioning platform.
All right. Eat less.
Oh really, Gregor? It might. Oh, I will mention if you're subbed, I think you might get a free pass on ads. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I've seen some of those ads too, especially the Billie Eilish ad. I think she has like yeah, she's doing some special thing on Amazon if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
battle's over, but stay alert, everyone.
We're so close, come on! We also have to get Millium's CP back to 200 for the boss battle. Oh right, Emma leveled up. Wait, no she didn't. What what's this about Emma back for? Oh yeah, Emma is amazing. Yep, she just deleted everything because she's Emma. Emma is our battle mage in training and no one can tell me otherwise.
Eat left. This one's all ours. All right.
From Butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My turn. Here comes. Yeah.
Wait, Millium just destroyed all of them in one hit. That's amazing. Good job, Millium. And now Elliot's level 46. That's awesome. Emma, it's Millium. Why? We all know that Emma and Alyssa are a better ship. In my opinion, at least. It definitely feels like there's some potential chemistry there. In terms of other chemistry, we obviously Fee and Laura. That goes without saying. Reen and Toa. Millium is indeed strong. Who all too? Agree. Emma Lisa does sound like a great ship.
This one's all ours. Leave it to me.
Oh, you're right. Eustace sets Matthias. How can we forget? That's also a good one.
It's my turn.
Yeah, especially after... Exactly. When they're riding on horse... Emma and Alyssa were on horseback together, and the fact that Emma was always looking out for Alyssa's best interests. Exactly, Repro,
Oh,
exactly.
we did it. Yeah, more of that. Thanks.
Good job, bro. No, fair enough, Rektor. Dias' family definitely seems like it has its acts together the best. Like, they definitely seem like the most functional and loving family. The Millium Falcon? Why? Oh, because she does the punch, so... Millium, punch! Or more so, Lammy, punch! Okay.
It's my turn.
My turn.
Anyway. We must get everyone to level 46. Has anyone ever stopped in Zero what director? Renet's Crow? I feel like the fandom ships them for some reason, but I just don't see it. Like, Crow scammed Reen out of money, and Crow is really irresponsible, whereas Reen is very responsible. I just don't see it. Like...
My turn.
Is it actually called Millennium Falcon?
Here. Okay.
That'd be
My
hilarious.
turn.
Let's keep going.
Wow, that's me. Oh, Emma's level 46. Let's go.
Making progress.
Good job, Emma. Okay, fair enough. No, I did not know Copper Nicholson. I really didn't. Fair enough, Brookor. Fair enough. Millennium Porg. Oh no. The Porgs. It's Star Wars Episode 8 all over again.
Here I go. Okay.
Yep, I know what Porgs are. Of course, Copper Nicholson.
All right.
Is it bad that I actually really enjoyed Star Wars Episode 8?
Is everybody okay?
Episode 8 is the best Star Wars? I mean, yes, but I really enjoyed it. Like, I really did. Like, I would say it's one of my favorite Star Wars episodes, for sure. The thing is, though, I have not seen The Empire Strikes Back in forever, so I wouldn't be able to say if I like that one more, since it has been a while. But at least in terms of ones I've seen recently, episode 8 really, I enjoyed it the most, shall we say. No, Copper Nicholson, I know what the Millennium Falcon is. I didn't realize that Millennium Falcon was the name of a ship involving Millium. Like, no one who watches Star Wars went... Oh. Actually, yeah. Is it not? Then why am I being so confused here?
Eat left.
Oh, okay, so it's not actually the name of any Millium ships. Okay, fair enough.
Eat left. Now's our chance. We can do this.
My turn.
Of course I know what the Millennium Falcon is. That's kind of an obvious one.
Here.
All right. My turn.
Oh, that is a good point, Brector, though, to be fair.
Okay.
The thing is about language is passed down by generation to generation, and it still has meanings even long after the original intents no longer apply, if that makes sense. But Cannon level 5, let's go! Alright, gets Othello's by default, that's nice. Amount healed multiplied by 3? What? Recover 30% HP for... Gradual HP regen when HP is low. Recover 30% match HP for 5 turns once for 5. Yo, nice! This is really good. Just 3x healing? That's ridiculous in the best way possible. Episode 8 was The Last Jedi. Also, there's Millium's level up pose. Alright, did I do a good job? Did I? Yes, Millium, you did good.
Nicely done.
So did you too, Alyssa. Alright, so... Alrighty! We finally reached level 46. Are we finally prepared to try again? Will things finally go our way? Will we defeat the ice monster and cause a glacial meltdown? That would be a good ship name for that, Copper Nicholson, for sure. Guess we're gonna find out. Alright, chat. We got annihilated by this thing so many times. It's time to turn the tables. Question is how. Alright, well, we don't need Othellos anymore since he gets that by default, so instead, do something else. What do we give you? Yep, time to shift the scales. Time the tables, the turns. Time to turn the tables. I have to do some blue thing. Dude, what can I synthesize now that I think about it? Okay. Actually, no, I think Elliot has Hydro Cannon, so that wouldn't really help. Mute? Okay. ADF would be nice. Actually, more health definitely could help. So HP 2 would be nice. Hey, what is more HP a bad thing? Right, chat? Right, chat. Anyway. Boards more like pods. Well said, Spot Tip. Well said. Okay. That Elliot has over 6,000 HP is amazing. Actually, why don't we max out HP? That's something I didn't consider. Intriguing. Okay, so I think what we did, well, Cypher gives Crow what? He gets Chrono Break, so Chrono Drive is nice to have. We always did Crow more health. Actually, what are our evasion stats here? So our evasion all stinks. Agility's high. Copper Nicholson, that's enough. That's enough, Copper Nicholson. Alright. I think we want to use Alyssa before, if I'm remembering correctly. The Crow has a nice S-craft. The thing is, he just doesn't... Actually, wait a minute. What is his... His ADF stinks. Well, actually, to be fair, everyone else's ADF isn't the greatest. Million has the best overall defenses. Crow has great physical defense, though, now I'm looking at it. Oh, to be fair, at this point in the game, most people have high physical defense, except for you, Elliot. You still aren't doing super well. Oh, actually, no, in terms of stats, Reen just... Oh, Reen, you poor, poor thing. The one thing you have going for you, Reen, is health. But literally everything else stinks. Okay, anyway. I think we do still want Alyssa out, because she is a useful support character. And Emma and Millium can be more of our damage dealers. So, sorry, Crow. We need to have at least one chef here. And in terms of ordnance, this will do, though. Maybe it would help just to give everyone HP 2 just for the heck of it. I think more health never hurts. Well, I mean, we theorized, Spudkip, that Millium's a robot for a couple of reasons.
Yes,
one is she's called the Silver Puppeteer. Now, granted, she has Lammy, but that still doesn't explain things. Two, we don't know what Millium's connection is to Lammy. Is Millium actually, you know, a robot, and this is her extension of Lammy? Is, There's also the fact that Millium is an intelligence operative despite being at such a young age, even younger than Fee. Which also leads me to be suspicious. Now again, it's just a theory. We have nothing to base this off of. But, I mean, to be fair, we also have the theory that Fee is a cat, and I'm still holding out on that one, though it's seeming increasingly unlikely as time goes on. Anyway. Maybe Lammy is the real Millium? Oh no. Okay, I do want to give... maybe instead of Adamantine Shield, we should be focusing more on just healing everybody. We gave everyone Tiarl. Don't like water. Okay. So Hydro Cannon's gonna be basically useless here, so we might as well use Tiarl. Where is it? Well, Elliot has that by default. You already have it. Corner break. Could be nice, but we haven't had much luck with that. Honestly, Adamantine Shield hasn't been doing much for us because we keep getting knocked out of it before we can cast it. Alright, so what I'm thinking, chat, is we are going to go with the... what I will call the spread out maneuver, as we see here. Try to have Millium get distract the stand. If not, we'll just surround it so it can only attack one of us at a time, hopefully. Let's kind of try to go from there. so we're all rested. Actually, we could also... Oh, yeah, we've only seen Millium and Fee interact briefly, because of the Class 7 stuff. Much as I like the idea of Yggdrasil, I don't think it'll help much here. So instead, the Millium more health. Flood is... well, Athels is nice to have, but... I think Grim Butterfly is the best spell to use here, honestly. So... but I like the suction move. Oh, decisions. Wait. Yeah, get rid of Flame Sun. That doesn't really help us here. Put in Passion Plus here. And go with HP up too. Give Alyssa more health too. Road Drive isn't going to be as helpful because we're not stuck together, so... yeah. Instead, I want you, Alyssa, to have... more HP. So now, chat, as you can see, I have a lot more HP now. And we're all linked up. So, without further ado, it's time, chat. Let's give this our best shot. If not, there's gonna be a lot more sadness and grinding. Here we go. Alright, Ice Monster, here we come!
Be careful, this one looks strong.
Here comes the music, let's go! I'm hoping it's too far away to hit Alyssa, and we should heal this back up. So instead, some HP regen, por favor.
Give it up.
Alright, let's see how much damage this does. Oh, it does hit Alyssa. That's annoying. Probably should have spaced out just a little bit more. Alright. Well, now we gotta defall them. Oh, I wish I put Recurria on. Gosh darn it! No! Now we have to defrost them. Isn't good. Where's my defroster?
Thanks. It's my turn.
Alyssa. The violin is very good, I agree. Cool, also. Where is it? Where's my defrost item?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright, you big monster. I think what we do is we go up to attack this thing, and then we go for an S-craft. We want this thing distracted. Did that do nothing? My disappointment is palpable. Oh well. Go for it, Lammy! Show us what you can do! Smash this icicle! Alright, that's about what I expected. Let's go! Yes!
Yeah.
It took the bait, chat! It took the bait! Now we actually have options. I guess... From Butterfly. It's taking the bait! Oh, Billy was frozen. I was like, I don't like this idea very much. Oh, I see there's a clip. Oh, thanks, Rector. I feel like we gotta... Do I have anything that cures, I like Blessed Arrow, but it's not going to unfreeze Millium is the issue. If anything that just... Does Elliot's healing ability... I don't think it does. We need to unfreeze Millium, though, or else we're kinda in a pickle. Wait, I only have 5 of it? What?! What?! Okay, hold on, no. We're good. We have hero bombs. That's the thing. Unfreeze Millium. Right now.
Right.
Alright, for my future reference. Okay, Holy Cell would cure all No, wait, that's just... KO. I mean, it'd still be good to use, because it works on us, too. We're just not close enough, gosh darn it. You go for... Okay, Tiara won't work, but Tiara will. Go for Elliot.
Thanks.
Come on, Millium, stop being frozen! You have one job! I see Emma has a crit. Well, we could actually just keep using Millium as bait. And so, until she gets unfrozen. There's Emma has a crit, but that's not going to work because she won't get to do anything. Is there anything I can do that will actually... No, there's not. Alright. Unfreeze Millium again. Come on. Well, actually, no. What we should do is we should have Emma... What am I saying? We should have... We should just be CP battering Emma, basically. Sorry, Millium, so she keeps smashing things. Oh no, she just gets the crit! That's amazing! Yes! Yes! Take that, you ice monster! I didn't nightmare. Darn it! Well, here comes... Well, that's it! Please wake up, Millium! This is not very good. We are getting bunched up again, and Millium is still frozen. I know I dropped the beat again, unfortunately, but... Hey, if Millium doesn't get healed, she's done for. Well, Holy Song... No, it won't reach Millium. Anything else I can do? I'm gonna go for heals. I'm gonna go for Recuria, but that's kind of pointless at this point. Hey, we could also keep Millium with Pizza. Just keep charging up her CP. And on the flip side, have, Emma feed Laura. So, let's go with that strat. Where is it? I mean, I think it just restores HP and... pure status effects. Fortunately, I don't think we have one that cures freeze. So instead, let's go with... Let's do Millium the Rotten.
It's my turn.
Alright. As for you... Need to feed Alyssa. Wait, could I get off a support spell? Not in time. I do have... Oh, I forgot about this. I have Crush and Shell, that's a thing. Strengthens allies with Crush... That won't save, Here's KO, HP heal 50% was... Yeah.
Here, thanks.
Alright, you go for the smash. Millium's still frozen. Ah! Elliot! No! Everyone's frozen still. Ow.
Okay. Hear me.
Thanks.
I can do this. Thank you very much.
Well, we're alive. Technically. What annoys me is that this thing gets to go twice in a row for some reason. Oh dear, we're dead. We are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Ow.
I'm done for.
Ow. Whoa, it's not showing you, chat.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh well. You know what, chat? We did learn some things. So, I do want to change my tactics slightly. Yep, Emma's great. I think the Millium strat would work if we could keep her close to that thing. The problem is we cannot have her get frozen. If she gets frozen, we are dead. So, first things first, someone has to have Recurria. Like, without Recurria, this is... actually, wait, no. Elliot has Recurria, so that's good. I think as a backup, Emma should have Recurria, too. That's, I also got rid of Tiara, because Emma does have a healing move. So where's Recurria? I have Recurria. Any of these get Recurria? Apparently not. Alright, we'll have to manufacture that, no problem. If Ruby Rose was in Class 7, I think she would fit right in, honestly. Okay, so where is Recurria? Alright. I think who should have Adamantine Shield, because Millium does it by default. I mean, maybe if Alyssa had it, she could be useful because it would... Yeah. Okay. Let's try this, chat. See how it goes. Oh, also, before I forget, we need to change tactics here. So, we've established that this is still too close for comfort. What we could always do is something like... He always seems to like to target Elliot first for some reason, so... We spread ourselves out more like... I'm trying to think of what's the way that's going to avoid us getting multi-hitted all the time. That is the question, isn't it, chat? But at least with this setup, it has to choose who he gets multi-hit from. Well, actually, this setup might be fine if we just throw Millium up front right from the get-go. Just keep her kind of far away and pointed, and keep the beast pointed in a different direction. Emma was... I mean, the magic attack to hit anyone is the issue. Well, actually, wait. If we're constantly casting Crescent Mirror, maybe that's not such a big deal. Alright. It's more so that melee attack that really gets someone on our nerves. It's just spam, spam, spam. I mean, I just need to say that, however, Nicholson.
Oh, that one looks tough. This'll be fun.
I mean, if you just try that as fun, Millium, have fun. Alright, so first things first. Oh, the Crescent Mirror delay stinks. Well, regardless, we should set it up anyway, just to have it. At the same time, I think having HP regen on people would be beneficial too. The decisions. We gotta have Emma try to set it up, actually. So, in that case, drop your beat, Elliot.
Okay.
Emma, you're going to Crescent Mirror everyone.
Arcus activate.
Probably going to attack. Alright, it's aiming at Millium. That is... Why does it get 50% HP heal right off the bat? I do not approve. Okay, Chrono Break this thing. That is very annoying, because even if I do get to delay it, it's just going to... We're just going to barely miss it. No! Well, if we accept that we're probably going to get Crescent Mirrored anyway. But, I mean, if we just accept that Millium's just going to hit anyway. Well, we haven't dealt any damage to it, so there's no harm in it, doing things like that. Instead... Passion Millium might be a good idea, just so that she has that raring to go. What else can I do? Okay. I think Adamantine Shield is the play here, because we need to have a backup in case things go hard. Well, no. Millium can... Yeah, Impassion it is. I think it's Impassion.
Let's go. My turn.
Alright, Millium, you need to get as close to this thing as possible. It needs to draw its fire. So, I'm going to put you up nice and... Oh, actually, what we could do, chat, we move Millium as close as possible, and then we just have her go for her S-Scrap to deny this thing the HP heal. Yeah. I like that. Or anything else we can do? Anything that just attack or... Not that I can see. Okay. And we're gonna move her up, and then we're just going to go for it. I didn't break her! Game? Okay. Good damage, good damage. Oh no! A Frost Edge! Whatever shall we do? Oh wait! We predicted that! Did Millium be impassioned? Remirror us. Okay, and now she doesn't have... Thank goodness Millium guarded that. Oh, we aren't going to be able to get her Adamantine Shield in time. So, HP regen's going to matter a heck of a lot more at that point. Instead... Alyssa, I just want you to... Grim Butterfly could help, but we don't want to waste our EP. Always Blessed Arrow, Millium.
Thanks!
Charge up for CP, she has the CP battery. Alright, I can't get Adamantine Shield off in time. So instead, what I want you to do... Does she have it? Okay, she does actually have HP regen a little bit at the start, that's nice. Courtesy a la Elliot. Instead, Elliot, I want you to do something fairly uncommon. Let's have you... Do we anticipate that Millium gets frozen is the issue. It's always just Grim Butterfly.
Arcus activate.
Get some damage up. Come on, Millium. You can do it! Nice!
Yeah!
He's not frozen! That's good. He is hurting, though. Millium's just rushing around. She's like... Anyway. Millium will recover HP next turn, but we gotta make her last that way. Yeah, Serene Blessing, the Millium.
Hear me. Thanks!
Oh, he's aiming for Elliot. Good thing we set up magic for Flats.
Yes, sir!
Alright, Millium. I could have you set up an Adamantine Shield, but you are getting a bit close for... Actually, yeah, probably... Should Adamantine Shield. If I am going to Adamantine Shield, I might want to do it with Ultimate Barrier, just set it up. Barrier! Oh, Elliot got a crit too, nice. Let's go!
I can do this.
There's some damage. So... A quick look-see here. I could impassion the Millium. I probably should impassion the Millium. But I also know that if we don't impassion Alyssa here, she will run out of CP. Impassion yourself, Alyssa. Why?
Huh?
That's annoying.
My turn.
Also, it's a good thing we have HP regen, or else there would be much sadness. We could get a free Recurria, though. That would be good. No, 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 no. Bad. Bad. He's going to go for attacks. What's that question, Grekor? Have you done any of the quests you missed out? Not yet, Grekor, not yet. I'm very focused on developing Heartwell right now, so no, I have not. I could just move Millium to the back, so if it does attack, it's only going to hit one person. Or, not Millium, Emma, Alyssa. Right now we are a bit close for comfort. Yeah, I feel like we gotta spread out. Don't want to freeze us.
Here I go!
Yeah, that was the right call. Sorry, Emma. Enjoy your freeze hacks. What else can I do here? Oh, that. And honestly, at this point, it feels like Millium just needs to charge up. So, where's our Grattens? There it is. Nom!
Delicious! It's my turn.
Alright, Emma, this is probably gonna hurt. Well, it probably won't hurt too much, but... I see that 50% HP regen now. We gotta make sure that there's another Crescent Mirror coming out as the thing. In anticipation of, two of us losing it.
Arcus, activate.
Oh no, a reflection. So, oh no, it's only at the 50%. No, we can't have that. That's a big no-no. Big no-no. I think Elliot, we need to have Elliot get the regen back. I think we're all close enough for this.
Give it up, everyone. I can do this.
Oh yeah, I remember that for. Okay, now we just need... Is there anything I can do that will delay this thing? The only thing we got left are S-Crafts. That's the only thing left that could possibly delay this thing. So... I think we're going to have to pop Millium's S-Craft early, unfortunately, because it's right there to get max damage. But if we don't pop it, we're dead in the water. Or we're basically back at square one, which is no bueno. Absolutely no bueno. I don't want Alyssa to waste her S-Craft is the issue. Copper Nicholson, we finished Crosscode. Go for a Grim Butterfly, Alyssa. And, actually... we could just delay this thing a little bit. Wouldn't hurt. Could also just adamantine shield people. Oh, then we can only do it to one. Yeah, it was pretty recent, Copper Nicholson. Okay, I made up my mind. We're going to have Alyssa do some kind of an attack. Go for Grim Butterfly. First time, Millium go early. So it doesn't get that HP heal. Alright, sorry Millium, but we had to do it. Alright, not bad, not bad. Oh, it's angry at Millium. It's like, you monster! How dare you! How dare you take my HP with that? Millium! The ice monster's like, that thing over there, she's just standing there. Menacingly!
Yeah.
Yeah, take that, you big icicle! Bah! Okay. That was amusing. Alright, now we actually have some time to think. Well, actually, hold on, chat. I need to say a quick bio break. I will be right back. Alrighty, chat. Welcome back, everybody. Looking at it now, chat, I think actually impassioning Millium would make the most sense. Just get back going again. It's almost out.
Arcus activate.
Then we can have Alyssa just spamming those heals. We have HP regen. Oh wait a minute. You know, yeah, we got HP regen. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's definitely good. That's definitely good. And that was a flash flood warning. But regardless, we're gonna keep going. So let's see here. What can you do, Elliot? I think I gave Alyssa adamantine shield. So. Another Grim Butterfly, please.
Now.
Impassion the Millium. Oh, alrighty. I feel the power of the shadow realm coursing through me.
I can do this.
Good job, Millium. Fair enough, take this parts. Welcome back. Now, what do we got here? Also, chat, look at this. Look how funny this is. There's a part of the camera where we actually go so far back we just end up bouncing against this pillar here. See? Anyway. Oh yeah, very true, cool, too. Very true. No Copper Nicholson. Alright. I wonder. Well, I have no idea if this is going to attack Elliot is the issue. I can hope it doesn't, but if Elliot goes down, we are in deep trouble, so...
Thanks.
Okay, good, it's just sticking with... Oh, okay, but Millium got knocked back.
Yes, sir.
Well, I do need to re-adamantine shield the Millium. I think that's probably what we'll do. Oh, I don't have... Why do I never have the time to do this! Come on! Oh, the irony is, if I'm able to set this up, it'll also protect Elliot. But then this thing will be moved up again. We don't want that. So... honestly, I think the play is just to move Millium back up and hope for the best, I think. And we can adamantine shield again, but we have to stop this thing from bunching us up is the issue. I'm very confused, Copper Nicholson. We always have Alyssa cast adamantine shield as the thing. Up at double attacks. Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We got a nightmare! Let's go! Yes!
My turn.
Yes! In that case, chat, we do have some time to do stuff. Okay. In that case, reapply the impassion to the Alyssa. Yeah, I know, Nightmare Pod.
Yeah.
We wasted one of its turns. Let's go.
Here I go.
All right, Millium. Now we are in a much better spot. Lammy, barrier. Okay, so there we go. Now that's a much better spot to be in. All right, we definitely should reset the HP regen here.
Right.
All right, Laura, give the blessed arrow to our friends.
Thank you very much.
Oh no! Emma is being targeted by magic. Whatever shall she do? Yeah, that's right, you big ice monster. You couldn't even hit me. We didn't even need this mirror. And then Emma just smashes the mirror. Stats effect goes down. It's such a thought. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. you know what? You big monster. Have another grim butterfly. Why don't you? No, that's close enough.
Here I go.
What should I do here? I think since we have I'm concerned that this thing is going to decide that it wants to attack Emma, and then we're bunched up again, and we have issues. So, this isn't a golden opportunity to set up an adamantine shield, though. But then again, I could smash it with the hammer if I just... Yeah. We'll have to rely on Elliot to heal him, I think. Actually, do we have the time to do that? It's gonna have to work. There's not much choice at this point. I did everyone adamantine shield just to... Oh, it's on recover EP too. Gosh darn it. Well, I mean, it recovering EP isn't that big of a deal. It probably has infinite EP or something anyway.
Here goes.
Alright, Elliot, you have to heal. Please? Please? Oh dear. We need to hope that Emma can survive one attack. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. If Emma can't survive one attack, she's basically done. And then we have to go into a recovery loop. So instead, Elliot Grim Butterfly this thing. Okay, good. It targeted Millium. That's good. That's very good.
Right.
And the adamantine shield helped. The Shane Blessed Arrow doesn't have a Y enough. Well, actually, Emma will get HP regen next turn anyway, so yeah.
Thanks. Now.
All right. We got another nightmare! Nightmare pod, chat! Nightmare pod! Nightmare pod!
It's my turn.
Okay, she only needs 20 and then she's good for another one. Well, someone needs to cast Impassion in on our friend here, so... Oh dear, dear. Nightmare Pod's gonna betray us! Never mind! We got 2 status effects.
No.
Nightmare Pod means, chat, Copper Nicholson, that we set the Nightmare status effect on this thing.
I can do this.
And it is Pod because when it has Nightmare, it means it has to waste a turn, which is good for us. Oh, Elliot gets a crit? I like the sound of that. Alright. What can we do here? I think... Oh, if I do that... No, wait, we have 0 art, so there's literally no reason not to cast this right now. Forgot about that. Yeah. Or let's just do it.
Huh? Yes, sir.
Alright, Millium. We know that next turn you're going to get the opportunity to do your thing. So instead, I want you to... I know we have one of these. Yep. We still have a Tetra Gelato, which for some reason increases strength and ATS, so this will just buff Millium's attack. Alright, chat, are you ready to see chaos?
That's for you.
Wait for it. Oh my goodness, this is amazing! We're going to get a critical hit, and we have ATS up, let's go. Alright, Lammy, ultimate smash! Come on. Show us what you can do. This is boosted on multiple fronts, chat. I have become Millium, destroyer of ice. Millium just did 17,000 damage in 1 hit. Yes. I approve. I approve. Alright. Wait. Oh, HP regen's almost out. Let's fix that. Boop. This thing's probably so angry at Millium at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, it has 0 arts next turn. We shall make do, though. We shall make do! Anyway, when's Millium's next turn? Oh, here comes the missiles. Good thing we had, oh, we just guarded it, okay. Fair enough. That works too. I think there's another Grim Butterfly. Let's just spam this thing. It'll be a crit too. Smash, Millium. What? Come on, Millium. Hang in there. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe. We're right there, chat. We are right there. Well, Elliot, do your thing. Give us a holy song.
Thanks. Huh?
Alright, it's almost there. Oh no.
Here I go.
Okay, you know what? It's completely unnecessary, but I think it's fitting. What we're going to do, chat, Let's see, so... Yeah, it's completely unnecessary, but we are going to have Millium use her S-Craft.
Okay.
So if I... Let's see, if I balance this right, all we have to do is give... Yeah, so that'll have to be 20. Oh, wait. No, we need more than that. Actually, you know what? I think Millium should have enough CP to make this work. But we might as well get her close, because why not? So... Let's see. Where is it? AP plus 20?
Thanks. It's my turn.
Alright. Blessed Arrow.
Hang in there.
Okay, I think it's only fitting that since Millium clearly was the damage dealer here, she should get to deal the death blow. Alright, Millium, it's time. Okay, you big ice monster. You thought you could hold us back, but you know what? I'm a member of Class 7, and nothing stands in our way. Lammy, one last time. It's time for show and tell. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally dead! Take that, you big ice demon!
Don't mess with us.
Yep. Millium deserves that. Yeah, Millium's like, yeah, don't mess with us, you big ice monster. Phew, glad it's over. And Millium's like, Ring, you didn't do anything. I know, but that's tough to watch. Agreed, Millium deserves all the HUDs for that, defeating that boss. Man, I wasn't expecting something like that to just pop up out of nowhere. And Reen and I just sat back and watched. High five, Reen. Don't encourage. I'm not going to encourage this behavior. I didn't have any trouble linking with my artist, so I call this the old test of rousing success. Crow, you didn't do anything! Maybe it says I got Lammy, but it didn't seem all that tough. Ah, sure, Millium, sure. Well, having you two along was definitely a big help, that's for sure. Still, the Guardian of each floor always seems stronger than the ones before. Well, it's up last time. That last time was a joke, but still. We'll need to be well prepared if we plan to keep exploring here. Oh, I agree. Still. There's no tremor this time. Dun dun dun. Huh? What tremor? Yeah, now that you mention it, it was after we heard that tremor that the red door appeared last month. Oh, really? Doesn't seem like anything's happening this time, though. Well, we're still... Well, we're sitting here looking at a dead end, so let's get out of here already. I'm getting hungry. Okay, Millium, okay. Well, to be fair, Millium, yeah, you did all the work, so... But you know what, Millium? Let's make sure you get a nice gelato or something when we go back, okay? Haha, yeah, it's probably evening by now. Let's have that. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that looks different, just in case. Oh, look at that! Alyssa and Emma bonded. I guess that made sense. I feel like I'm getting closer to you, Emma. And I feel the same way, Alyssa. Does this mean we're officially getting shipped yet? What was that? Oh, nothing. Apparently we got auto-tiered, though. That's nice. Alright, well, since Millium technically dealt the death blow, she gets to do the spin of victory, so... Yay! Okay, anyway. That was definitely a tough battle, though. I can appreciate that the game is still throwing curveballs at us. Just like this. Literally, that battle came down to a question of, can we avoid getting frozen? Yeah, exactly. Victory Screech! Alright. Well, looks like we only have one more floor unless it's going to expand the elevator somehow, so... Back to the surface. We go. Whee! And now both Millium and Crow know what it means to go to the old schoolhouse. Anyway, rolling around at the speed of sound. Oh, it is going to rain. They did bring that up earlier. It sure got cloudy while we were in there. Looks like it's going to rain. Yeah, it looks like the storm's on the way. That's a good question, Reptor. Will Reed ever be powerful enough to compare to his stronger teammates? I guess we'll never know. So Sharon's hunch turned out to be true after all. At this point, I shouldn't even be surprised. She's probably just some intelligence operative, but whatever. I guess it was just business as usual this time. Nothing like that strange red door we found last month. Yeah, I kept looking on our way back just to be sure, but nothing really looked too suspicious. Maybe there's another piece of internal logic to the old schoolhouse that caused the door and the suit of armor to appear. Yeah, that would make sense. Not necessarily comprehensive. I think Reen's an excellent character, but Toa is the best. Come on. Anyway, well, that does seem to follow what we know. Actually, that reminds me of something George said the other day. After all the time he's spent with it, he still doesn't understand how that thing was able to move in the first place. Even George? Yeah, whatever technology was used to make that armor, he's never seen anything like it. Interesting. And if George can't make heads or tails of it, it must be like nothing else out there. Huh. Sounds kind of like Lammy. Even I don't know how he moves around. Are you sure that's a good thing, Millium? Doesn't sound like you're losing any sleep over that mystery. Oh, now it's raining. Oh, no. Whoops, I guess we stirred around chatting for too long. Or head back before we get hit with a full shower. Yeah, that sounds best. All right. We'll leave the rest to you, fearless leader. Why do you people keep thinking I'm some kind of leader? No, Reed, you are a leader. Embrace it. Millium's walking back alone. What is she doing? So this is the place Gramps was talking about, huh? It does seem like there's got to be something here, but I don't think force alone is going to cut it. Millium? Sorry, coming! Oh no. Gramps is referring to Alyssa's grandfather, I think. I'm guessing. But I almost wonder if we're going to get to the end of the schoolhouse and Millium's going to, whatever's down there, give it to the Chancellor. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where this is going. I have no idea, Rektor. It's just my guess because that's the only grandfather I think we've encountered so far in this game. Ooh, silver bell. What's that? One additional bonding point. Oh. Alrighty. So, we have a new orbment. And it is silver bell. What is this? As late after using Mirage Arts. That'd be pretty good. Alright. So, chat, it is time. We must consult the map to see, will there be a Toa bonding events this chapter? Let's find out. Yay! Madam President's available. Sorry, Fee, but Reen has priorities. Okay. Where is she? There she is. Well, I think this is a good way to end the stream. So let's wrap the stream up by talking to the best character in this game. Are you looking for a book? Yeah, I was thinking about signing up on Crossbow again. I'll be attending the trade conference, so I want to make sure I go in prepared. Somehow I'm not surprised. Hopefully everything goes well for you. Huh. Well, Prince Olivert and the Chancellor will be the ones doing all the hard work. But thanks. I'll make sure to be the best staff member I can be. Aww. KK Sparks. I'm not sure if you've seen Toa, but she's my favorite character in this game. There's many reasons why. Well, I should be able to lend her a hand with finding the book she needs. Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about this. Can you hand find all the butts you're looking for? You need it? Oh, thanks. It's kind of tough for me to get butts off of the higher shelves. You take that section, I'll take this one. On it. Reen said Toa's lesson. Started to search for all the crossspell-related books. Agreed, Gretgor, agreed. Let's see. Politics and economics section, the crossspell problem. Got it, that's the last one. Now, where is she? Shit. Almost. Just a little farther. Hey. Uh-oh. Toa! Is Reen going to catch her? Please tell me Reen caught her. Ah! It's so cute! It's so cute, sorry. I can't, it's just... I'm so glad I made it in time. Yeah, exactly, agree, Gretchen. What a great way to wrap up this stream! Are you okay? Reen? No, I'm fine. Phew, that's a relief. You really got my back, don't you? Duh! Huh, I feel the same way about you. Duh! It's not just my back you got, it's everyone at the academies. Don't make her fluster escape from Reen's arms. Okay! This is so cute! This is now up there with the motorcycle scene in terms of cuteness. Anyway. I'm sorry, this was so careless of me. No worries, I'm just glad you weren't injured. And next time you want a book from one of the higher shelves, just ask me, Dad, for you. Sure. Aww. Yep, the ship is real, chat. The ship is definitely real. Phew, well, those are all the butts I need. Thanks for the help, Reen. Anytime. Sounds like taking part in the trade conference is going to be a lot of work. No, you just say that again. I'm going to deal with a lot of challenging and sensitive issues that heavily involve Erebonia. As long as I'm part of the team, I want to be as useful as possible. That's some real dedication. No matter how much I study, though, I'm still really nervous. Sure, they asked me to go, but at the end of the day, I'm just a student. What can someone like me do at a major international conference like this? Oh, it all sounds pretty daunting. But I'm sure you're going to be fine. All you have to do is be yourself. I think you're going to have to be a bit more specific. Oh, well, you're always supporting us from behind the scenes so we can achieve our full potential. I know. Every student here knows that you're there for us. I'm sorry, every student knows that you're there for us. I can't overstate how reassuring it is to have your support. Bring that support to the conference, and the staff will thank their lucky stars that they thought to bring you along. You really think so? I wouldn't say so if I didn't. You've got to have more faith in yourself. Besides, if you ever need help, I'll be there to back you up. Just try not to fall off any more ladders. Yeah, I suppose you're right. If I'm going to have people relying on me, I've got to project an air of confidence and steer clear of high bookshelves. Thanks, Reen. I think I needed a bit of your positivity. Well, I'm glad my rambling cheered you up. This is a big deal, to be sure, but remember that you've always got us to fall back on. Well, I'll be waiting to celebrate your success when you get back. I can't wait. Ah, it's so cute! It's too cute! Anything else, Toa? Thanks, Reen. I'm feeling a bit more prepared now. I'll be working hard out there, so be sure to cheer me on, okay? Okay, yep. Of course, Toa, we will always cheer you on. Go get 'em! Go show what you can do at that trade conference. Be the best Toa you can be! But gosh darn, that scene was adorable, and it was definitely worth the wait. So, if I'm not mistaken, we're out of bond points. Awesome, glad to hear, KJ Sparks. Anyway, I think, yeah, we are definitely out of bond points. So where do we... I think it is finally time that we return to the dormitories to see where this is going. Oh, it's getting dark now, so if I go to my room now, I'll be in for the night. Oh, yes you can, KK Sparks. So, most of the named girl characters can be romance, and Toa is one of them. So, that Toa, if it's not obvious already who I'm going for the ship in this game, chat, it's definitely Toa. That goes without saying. So, let's return to the dorm.
Welcome back, Master Reen.
No! After such a high note! Why do you have to ruin it, Sharon?
I hope the sudden shower didn't catch you too unaware. Would you
No.
like me to fetch you a dry change of clothes?
Alright, so for those in chat who have no idea, Sharon is one of the most suspicious characters in this game. We call her the sus maid because she is super suspicious. And we always joke that she's putting wiretaps everywhere or something like that. Would you like me to fetch some dry clothes that have some wiretaps in them, Master Ring?
I'll survive. Thanks to your warning this morning, I was able to avoid the worst of the downpour. I'm amazed you were able to tell a storm was coming that far in advance, though.
Well, when you have the intelligence service on speed dial, you have access to all the latest weather technology. Oops, did I say that out loud? I meant, I'm just very good at predicting the weather.
Chairman Arena takes a lot of business trips, so I'm used to keeping an eye on the weather.
After all, the weather could affect our itinerary, if you get my
Never
drift.
being caught unawares is just one of a maid's many responsibilities.
Never being caught unawares is just one of a spy's many responsibilities.
Can't really picture any other maids holding themselves to such an unrealistic standard.
That's because I don't think she's a maid, Reed!
I'll let you know when dinner is ready, so just wait in your room until then.
Oh no.
I expect the meal will take a little longer to prepare than usual today.
Because this time, I'll be sure to add my explosive ingredients.
Oh?
Well, with 2 new residents in the dormitory,
Oh, okay, I guess that makes more sense, but, you know, I still don't trust
I
Sharon.
thought I might make tonight's dinner a little fancier than usual. A welcoming feast of sorts for them.
Oh
Really?
no.
That sounds like a great idea. I'm looking forward to it already.
I don't trust her,
Anything
I
can
really
help you
don't.
with for it?
Oh, could you? I'm actually short a few ingredients, so I was just about to step out to buy what I need.
Let's see, so we need some plastic explosive, we have a detonator. Do you think you could buy those for me, Reed?
I'd be happy to run to the market for you then. It's still coming down out there. Might as well go back out while I'm still damp, right? Don't worry about me. I don't mind.
Aw, Reen.
Well, if you insist,
If you insist on being used, Reen, have fun.
I'd be happy to take you up on your kind offer. Here's a list of everything I'd like you to buy. That should be exactly enough merit to cover the expense.
All right. I'll be back soon then.
Take care out there.
Ooh, pretty. Nighttime in Trista.
Looks like the rain must have stopped while I was inside. It's gotten pretty dark out too.
Oh, hello.
Huh? What?
Oh.
Who are you? Huh? Yep, agreed, KJ Sparks agreed.
You wouldn't happen to be one of the Class 7 students from Thor's, would you?
Okay, theory crafting time, chat. Who is this? Is this Is this Celine? Is this Celine? I swear.
Out for a little late night shopping, are we?
Or is she some kind of intelligence operative that works with Millium? It could also be that. It could also be a relative of Crow's,
You
possibly.
could say that, but how did you know I'm from Class 7?
You're one of the favorite topics at our radio station, actually.
Oh no! Wait a minute! She's the one on the radio station always... I thought her voice sounded familiar. Yeah, she... It's the Millium! Hello, Reed. Would you like to play Danganronpa with me? What's Danganronpa? Oh, you'll find out. No, she's the person on the radio station, always giving all the interesting, I guess, radio
There are
shows.
plenty of people out there who want to know more about Thor's dashing guys and gals in red.
Aw.
Oh, you work at the radio station?
No, I wouldn't be surprised if she's secretly an intelligence operative, too. Let's be real here, Chad. There's so many conspiracies in this game.
Hold on.
Samudi Shirogane is a character from Danganronpa V3. She is one of my favorite characters from that game, and she kind of looks like this character. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Rum debate Taro now.
Your voice sounds so familiar.
Oh, maybe you know me from the radio?
There we go.
Ahem. Good evening, everyone.
Yep.
This summer's turning into a real scorcher, isn't it?
Yeah, it is her. Oh, this is so
To beat the
cool.
heat, we're going to be broadcasting tonight from a park here in Trista.
It's like if I close my eyes, it's as though Reen's just staying in his room listening to the radio.
Ring any bells?
Wait. Huh? You're Misty? From Abentime?
Oh, so this is Misty. The fact that she's a named character, though, immediately makes me suspicious. She does have a cool hat.
You must be quite the avid listener, recognizing my voice so easily.
I mean, to be fair, it's during mandatory cutscenes. It's not like Reen can change the channel. Oh, hush now, Fee.
Glad to know I've got a faithful fan out there.
Aw.
Wow. I never figured I'd meet Misty herself, especially like this. I always make sure to catch Abentime. It helps me relax while I'm studying.
Thanks. But it sure is serendipitous, you know?
Ooh, that's
Having a chance encounter like this.
serendipitous.
Just after the rain's eased up.
That's a nice
Ooh,
word.
Maybe I should mention this on tonight's show.
I'm not sure that I really constitute a noteworthy topic. It's kind of weird. I only know her from Abentime, but she seems just as friendly face to face.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, no. She's. I was about to say, is she also the opera singer? But wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. I think her hair color is different, and she's. How would she have the time to be an opera singer and run a radio station too?
Is something the matter? You're staring at me so intently. I feel a little embarrassed.
I mean, what are you doing?
Well, forgive me if this sounds a little odd, but this isn't actually our first meeting, is it? If I'm not mistaken, we met once before.
Oh wait, is she actually the opera
In
singer?
a hotel in Heimdall.
Oh wait, no, wait, what? Was I right? What?
Wow, I can't believe it. I never figured anyone would actually catch on.
Oh no. Oh, it actually was!
Really?
Wow! What? What? That automatically makes me more suspicious, chat.
The Azure Diva herself.
None of my plot destiny powers have activated yet, no!
Vita Clotilde.
Right you are once again. Honestly, even the people I work with at the radio station don't seem to have noticed, so I'm surprised you could tell.
This makes me scared, chat. This makes me really scared. The fact that she's able to disguise herself so well makes me scared that she's somehow an antagonist.
That makes two of us. I almost didn't say anything because it just seemed too implausible. But if you don't mind me asking, how did a star like you end up working at Radio
Yes, I played cool too. Quick, wait, invite Matthias and Elliot.
It's just a little something I do for fun on the side. Gotta spice life up a bit, right? The best part is, the people at the Opera House in Heimdall have no idea I come here to do my show every week. So don't go telling anyone, okay? It'll be our secret.
Ri's like, oh, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Matthias is like, you did what?
Of course. I wouldn't dream of it. I'm amazed no one else has figured it out, though. It's not like you use a different voice when you're on the radio.
Well, there's a little trick to it. You're not the only one who is surprised, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Exactly, she really is moody, in a way.
Huh?
What is she
I
doing?
had this feeling I'd seen you before, but I couldn't put my finger on where.
Alright, yeah, nope, she's sus. She's definitely sus. She's very, 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 very sus. Like, Reed, run! Run!
It's you, isn't it?
Oh, no. Like, the way she leaned in like that makes it seem definitely more like she's some kind of intelligence operative, or she has some ulterior motive here.
Anyway, I have to get over to the studio now. Oh, and be sure to tune in to tonight's Abentime. It'll be a fun one. Promise.
Wouldn't miss it.
What if she's in part of, like, the Imperial Liberation Front?
And give my regards to those two.
Oh, she actually remembered Elliot and, Matthias.
She smells like lavender?
That's gonna play into something, isn't it?
The fragrance really suits her.
Listen, the only one who's allowed to kiss Reed is Toa, okay? End of discussion.
So Vita Clotilde herself has been hosting a radio show in Trista. Even if I told them, I don't think they'd believe me.
But I think that the fact that she smells like lavender, I have to believe that's going to play into something. I really do.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, hello, Garrus. Thank you so much for dropping by. How's it going?
Hey there, Emma. Did you just get back too?
Yeah, I guess that is a decent way to describe it. It's kind of like Persona and Pokemon in some ways.
Yeah, I just returned a short while ago.
And Emma's
Were you out
back. Yay.
Yeah, Sharon asked me to go out and pick up a few things for dinner, though I ended up taking a bit longer than I expected.
Wait, do I smell lavender on you?
Oh no, it did play into something. Oh no.
This is perfume, isn't it? How did it get onto you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, right.
Uh-oh.
Guess I must have soaked up the scent too. She did get pretty close. That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh no! Reed!
Reen?
I was like, you're doing this again, Reen. You've really got to be more specific with how you... Careful of how you say
I
things.
only hope the reason you ended up taking longer than expected isn't because you were...
Oh, Emma looks so disappointed.
Whoa, hold on. You've got the wrong idea, Emma. I just happened to bump into someone I know while I was out. That's all. Nothing scandalous. Nothing I'd be ashamed of.
I never said it was. Though you do seem strangely defensive for a man who has nothing to hide.
Emma, stop!
I wonder what would happen if Elise and the other girls were to catch wind of this.
Oh no! Oh no, we're starting to see more of Emma's personality. Emma's being a little manipulative here. I think what she's trying to do is she's trying to figure out what Reen was really doing. So Reen will tell her, but no one else.
I swear, I just ran into someone I know after I left the store. Nothing happened. You just like raking me over the coals, don't you?
Okay, no, she's like, yeah, I just like messing with you, Reen. Since you always almost walk in when I'm talking to the Selene, so this is payback. Were they just listening anyway? Oh, Sharon was listening! No!
Mr. Reen, I see you've returned. Were you able to get everything I asked for?
I would be surprised if Sharon just had her ear to, like, the keyhole there, listening to them.
Sure did. Let me bring it over.
Gosh darn it, Sharon! I was like, oh, Master Reen, were you out speaking to someone tonight? I wonder who it could be.
Lavender.
Why is this a thing now? Is this going to be a running gag? Lavender.
No, that's impossible.
Wait. Uh-oh. No. Emma didn't actually see Vita Clautel when they were in Heimdall, did she? Oh, yeah, she didn't. Alright, it's theory crafting time, chat. Yep, exactly. I'm thinking one of two things. Either Vita Clautel / Misty is a relative of Emma's, whether she's actually Selene or if she's just another relative of Emma's, or she is one of the two people trying to take away Selene for one reason or another. That's my guess. Green Dave sharing her hand with cooking. When dinner was ready, everyone sat down to enjoy it, especially the extravagant meal in celebration of Crow and Millium joining Class 7. It's not really worth celebrating. Fair enough. Yeah, no, the thing is, in our group, Emma was not in our group. It was Reen, Elliot, Machias, Fee, and Laura. Everyone else was on the other side of Heimdall. So, yeah, I don't think they would have seen her. So, Emma wouldn't have been able to recognize her if that was the situation. Alright, breaking news. Representative of the Imperial family has... Actually, you know what, chat? If we're going to read this, might as well I'll do a good voice for it, so... breaking news, terrorist attack follow-up. A representative for the Imperial family has spoken regarding the aftermath of the terrorist attack which took place in Heimdall recently. The spokesman confirmed that Princess Alfred, who was placed in the greatest danger on that day, had sustained no serious injuries and was able to return to school as usual. Who are the Imperial Liberation Fronts? Well, the recent terrorist attack placed both Princess and Princess Alphen in danger and resulted in Imperial Governor Rignitz sustaining injuries. While it may seem that peace has returned to the streets of Heimdall, the culprits behind these unspeakable acts, who call themselves the Imperial Liberation Front, have yet to be apprehended. The elite force responsible for the capture, the RMP, insists that they are doing everything in their power to find them. Thanks to those who helped. Chaos might have reigned in Heimdall on the day of the attack, but that did not stop a number of people from doing their part to bring the situation under control. Each of these courageous souls has received a letter of thanks from the Imperial government. Extra special thanks are due to one young student who took command to restore calm in Drekdal's Plaza, and a group of civilians who succeeded in rescuing Princess Alphen from harm's way. These people have received particular appreciation for their deeds. Duh. So what they're saying is Toa and us, basically. Alright. Oh, interesting Kid Sparks. Lavender's symbol for chakra, which is associated with higher purpose and captivity. Maybe something like she's the big bad mouse. I would not be surprised. Literally in last chapter, I theorized that we would actually be battling the opera singer as like the boss of that chapter in the opera house. That did not end up being the case, but it was still a suspicion I had because she just seems so. She seemed like someone who could be very two-faced. Oh, and I agree, cool too. Toa is best girl. International Trade Conference approaches. At the end of this month, the long-awaited West Samaria Trade Conference will finally commence in Crossbelt. Unsurprisingly, those involved are already hard at work for the conference, which will be based around international economic matters and may potentially determine the future direction and development of Western Samaria. When asked to comment, government representatives responded, "An international conference on a continental scale like this has never been attempted before. Naturally, we intend to fulfill our responsibility as a great nation." The representatives from the Erebonian Empire are expected to be Chancellor Osborne, or as Highness Prince Olivert. Culture. Imperial Chronicle Radio is 1 year old. Do you enjoy listening to Orbital Radio broadcasts? This report certainly does. For those who aren't familiar, Orbital Radio allows you to enjoy audio programs anytime, anywhere. The Imperial Chronicle's affiliated radio station, Imperial Chronicle Radio, 1 year old. This seems as good a time as any to sell its benefits to the world. And a PR representative was happy to sum up exactly what makes the Imperial Chronicle Radio so special. We may not have been the first radio station to be established, but this station is available in the widest area and conducts the most balanced and impartial broadcasts. That's by just being absolute propaganda for the Emperor. Travel, Lake Bell. In today's travel log, I will be visiting beautiful Lake Bell on the eastern side of the Empire. This dining spot is an ideal destination for those looking to enjoy a tranquil vacation away from the stresses of daily life. Furthermore, the historic stronghold of St. Sandlot on the opposite shore, Lohedrin Castle, provides the perfect backdrop to a lakeshore stroll. The area is best reached by traveling south to Berehard along the Ebel branch line. Alright, fair enough, Garrus. Thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope you have an awesome night. I wonder, Chad, if we're actually not going to the trade conference and instead are going to the St. Sandlot, just because this is how the article ended, so
the West Samaria Trade Conference is just over a week away now.
Even though I really feel like... it'd be cool if we went to the West Samaria Trade Conference, but whatever.
Building that tall is exactly what you'd expect from an economic powerhouse like Crossbelt 2. It's a big world out there. Still, we've got Millium and Crow as classmates now. Would have seen that coming. Crow opened up to us right from the start. Though I guess that's just Crow for you. And Millium's become way more attached to us than I thought she would too. They were both able to form combat links with us right from day one. I had my concerns about how well they'd mesh with the class, but maybe I was worried for nothing after all.
No, I think there's concerns. Especially with Millium. Radio time.
Good evening. I'm your host, Misty.
Good evening. I'm your host, opera singer, Misty.
It's August 18th and we're winding down a busy day here at 9 p.m. I'm here to give you all the cool you need to beat this summer heat.
Hey, looks like I'm not too late to catch this week's Abend time.
Seems like those hot summer days keep coming with no end in sight, doesn't it? But even this heat can't stop the momentum behind the West Samaria Trade Conference being held in Crossbell later this month.
No, I think we're going to the trade conference. There's just been way too much reference to it.
Prince Olivert and Chancellor Osborne will be in attendance for this watershed moment in international business.
Also, the fact that Osborne and Olivert, they're also making me suspicious that Steve will show up.
Personally,
and that
I'm
one of them
more
is Steve.
interested in the view from the top of that famous new skyscraper the talks are being held in. In some news closer to home, you all have probably noticed the summer showers we're getting here in Trista. The rain's let up for now, but it's managed to push that nasty nighttime humidity right off the charts. It's nights like these I wish I could smuggle an ice-cold beer into the studio. And the director is chilling over there, drink in hand, mocking me. But you know what? Forget that guy. Anyway,
Okay,
for
then.
all you students out there, your summer vacation's probably wrapping up, so I hope you made the most of it.
At least like what summer vacation?
I forgot that summer vacation at the military academy has already come and gone. Whoops.
Where are it?
It's never too late to do something bold that'll keep your memories of this summer burning bright. And what about you, Miss Misty? You're probably asking yourselves, well, you might want to sit down for this one. Because fate had a romantic rendezvous in store for yours truly just on the way to the studio
Oh
today.
no! No!
Tryst with a young man in a park after sunset. Droplets of rain clinging to the grass. I'll treasure the memory forever.
Oh no! No! Is she defaming Reed?
Or I would, if I hadn't just made it up on the spot. Chalk it up to a dreamer's poetic license, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. She was just joking.
Still, maybe one day I'll feel the thrilling rush of a summer love. Gotta keep the fire burning.
Reed's like,
What are you talking about when I ran into her earlier tonight?
Reed's like, what?
She's got quite the playful personality. Though somehow that doesn't come as too much of a surprise. It's kind of weird thinking that I just met her on the street a couple hours ago.
Anyway, I have to get over to the studio now. Oh, and be sure to tune in to tonight's Aubin time. It'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I know, I agree, Chad. That was a big
Wouldn't
oof
miss
moment,
it.
potentially.
And give my regards to those two.
Those two?
Now, okay, when I first heard her say that, I thought she meant Machias and Elliot. But what if she actually meant Emma and Celine? That wouldn't surprise
I
me.
didn't really think about it right then, but who was she talking about?
Well, that's the thing, like, at first I thought Machias and Elliot, but then it's like, wait. Celine, Emma might recognize her. Uh-oh. I hear bad things. Why are we back here again? This was in the first field study. Idiot. What are you doing?
Ah, so you've arrived.
Good to see you, boss.
Gideon's probably still salty out over being destroying his flute.
Oh, you're awfully early.
Ah, it's these two.
Well met,
The
comrade.
mercenaries.
Comrades. I see that you finished all your preparations as well.
Smooth as silk. Although you're the one who'll be taking center stage in our next operation without a
If
doubt.
it's at the KK Sparks, evil, evil.
Would
Anyway.
have thought you'd volunteer to go pound the pavement and crossbow. The Red Constellation are gonna be there. I still think I'm the prime choice for this one.
Oh, I was right. They are members of the Red Constellation. I can't believe I can't believe I guessed that. Though to be fair, when they said they were basically mercenaries, they probably wouldn't have fought against Fee if they were part of Zephyr. So Red Constellation makes sense. It's Moshiri Day. Oh no. He turned to the dark side. It's his new voice. Okay.
I disagree. As I can no longer rely on the power of the flute, it makes the most sense for me to go. Especially when you consider the very real possibility that we may have to accept a necessary sacrifice for the greater good.
Unnecessary sac. Is Gideon going to go on a mission where he won't come back alive?
That is the
What?
best way for us to achieve what we desire.
You're serious?
Ugh, you really are too morose for your own good.
I could say the same of both of you. Why else would you have willingly plunged yourselves into a struggle like this to begin with?
I suppose you're right.
You got us there.
I see you've all gathered.
And here comes most likely the Chancellor, but we're
Alright,
not
see.
sure at this point. Fair enough, Walter.
Fashionably late, but worth the wait.
Okay, that's a great line. Fashionably late, but worth the wait. Okay.
Makes it a full house.
I appreciate your gathering, comrades. The wheels have been set in motion. There is no place for hesitation, no time for looking back.
Yeah. My current guess is that this is the Chancellor, just because the Chancellor has a military background. He would have the resources to do something like this. And he seems to wear very similar clothing. Though it could also be Prince Olivert. Or I guess Carl, but Carl is feeling like a stretch at this point.
We seek disappointing results.
I couldn't agree more.
No objections here either.
Goes without saying.
That's also true. The Chancellor is
That's
buff, and
it.
so is this guy.
I will ask you but once. Comrade G, are you certain this is the path you would walk?
My heart itself beats with the ideals of the Liberation Front. If my life should see its end in Crossbell, so be it.
Wow.
That tyrant must be stopped from creating the vile dystopia he seeks. Dear though the cost may be.
Oh, sure. Garrus, so what happened is we sat down for a radio show and heard some shenanigans, and now we're seeing some of the antagonists talking amongst themselves. And Gideon is a complete fanatic.
If through our efforts we or anyone anywhere succeeds in that aim, we will have our victory.
Very well.
Though I do appreciate that they're showing the scene, because up to this point, Gideon has seemed like a very one-dimensional character. But here we're starting to see just at the end of last chapter, and now especially, we're starting to see that there is some, you know, he does seem to have a reason for his actions, and that isn't just, I want to cause chaos.
May the goddess, or perhaps powers less fair, attend you. When this is over and our victory won, let us toast our success together in the Imperial capital.
Basically, we're students at a military officers academy. Yeah, so I mean, I guess they're technically high school age, but they're still learning to actually be guardians, so it fits. Oh, he has a helmet. Bad disguise?
Farewell, my comrades.
Bye, Gideon.
He doesn't know how to express how he feels, but I understand.
Losing your place in the
Yeah,
world
it's all
for
good,
doing
Garrus.
what's
It's all
right.
good.
And throwing yourself into the eye of the storm.
Losing your place in the world for doing what's right, then throwing yourself... Yeah, I get the feeling, like, when we find out what... I mean, they say they want to overthrow the Emperor, but I feel like these people feel... that they probably have some more in-depth reasonings behind these things. This doesn't just come across to me as, oh, we want to cause chaos and mayhem. There does seem to be some bigger thing going on behind the
It ain't
scenes.
something I could do.
Different paths brought each of us here, but the road we travel now is the same.
Yep.
Let us depart, Comrade S, Comrade V.
Yeah, that's true, Kowalski. That's something that confused me until the end of last chapter as well. The Emperor and the Chancellor are different people.
We each have our own part to play in what is to come.
Of course.
Just leave it to us.
And there's their airship. Or, I just airships. Using the imaginative hover technology to do no other animations, but that's okay. Then that's day. Someone better make it through this unharmed. I swear. Please protect Toa. Or rather, Toa, please protect everyone. Oh, I forgot we have our... That's right, chat. We have our practical exam. Alright, it's time for this most really practical exam. Is everybody ready? Ready as I'm going to be. Anytime. You know, first year again. And it's been no sweat up till now. That's why let's run out for combat training. And I can't even skip out since they won't let me graduate without it. You do want to actually finish school someday, right? You spend more of the class asleep than awake, so you could at least put some effort into the practical exams. Oh, Darius, that's actually an outfit, so the cat ears are a costume, but we put it on Fee because she acts so much like a cat. I am a cat, Antomicx, get with the program. Okay, Fee, sorry. Alright, right, I know. This is the part where we get to fight those things that look like Lammy, right? I can't wait to jump in! Hey, can we start yet? Can we please? Probably never KK Smarts, just because I don't think Toa is a playable character in this game, which means we can't change outfits. So unfortunately, that's probably not a thing. Would you at least have a token effort to rein in your hyperactive outbursts? It's amazing how much just adding 2 new classmates did shake things up. I guess I could have you all fight the combat shell. But since we got 2 new challengers this month, how about we try a little something different? Something different? I wonder what strange idea she's concocted today. Probably just gonna have us fight Millium and Crow at the same time, isn't she? Redcore, Eustace is the only person who doesn't trust Millium, and I kind of see where he's coming from. A good instructor shot, keep you guessing. And by now, you should be prepared for anything. So, Reed, Crow, Millium. Yes, instructor? Gotcha. Right here. You're the first team! What? The rest of you will be divided into 2 groups, an all-girls team and an all-boys team. Emma's team will be class president Matthias, and team is vice president. Your team is vice president. Matthias, your team is vice president. Reed's team will be team whatever. Each team will be facing off against each other in a series of mock battles. Yeah, I know, the boys will get obliterated. Fair enough, fair enough. Those are the dumbest team days I've ever heard! I can't really disagree, but I don't think the names are the biggest issue here. Oh, it's an interesting split. Hey, wait a minute! Why are the 3 of us in a totally separate team, and why do we have fewer members than them? Wait, hold on a second! What? 3v4, excuse me, Sarah! Excuse me! Well, by my estimation, these 3 teams are about equal in strength. Both the girls and the boys teams are well balanced in terms of weapons and combat styles represented. Reed's team is the Total Protect Squad. Okay, fair enough. And while your team does have fewer members, Crow has a lot of experience, and Millium has outgot them. So I think that kind of evens out your one-man disadvantage, don't you? No, it doesn't. We don't have any support. I see. It does actually make sense. No, it doesn't, Lauren. Don't support her. At least these teams are less contrived from what I've seen from Field Star groups. The part where a certain someone always draws the short straw remains remarkably consistent. Oh, who do you mean? I wonder which poor sucker keeps staying stuck on the hard luck teams. Reach more like, you wanna say that to my face, Crow? Fine, I'll take the hand I'm dealt this time. Oh, I like that's fun. Well then, let's get down to business, shall we? Since me and Laura couldn't destroy you, Reed, I'll make sure they go over the classmates too. I will see sadness before the end. And before this is all over, Reed. So the first round will be between Team President and Team Vice President. Team whatever, Team Vice President. Alright, assume your positions, everyone. And be sure to give Reed a good attack for me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where's Flood? I need to bring Flood again. Wait, I did free. Wait, why would we bring Flood? He has Ares, so he actually gets Maelstrom. Now, the issue I see happening here, chat, is that we do not have any good sustain moves. So, unless we want to be in a situation, excuse me, where I could give him Yggdrasil. Let's see, what's our ATS? Well, surprisingly, Ecros is the highest. Okay. Give him Yggdrasil. And I think, where is it? Fair enough, record. I'm doing Phantophobia just for good measure. But Earth Pulse is really good. That could keep us in the fight longer. Unless we just want to go for complete CP spam. But that's always an option. Actually, right, since Reno has a bunch of EP, why don't I have him be the Spore and give him Crescent Mirror? That could be a thing. Who has Adamantine Shield right now? Alyssa does, apparently. Okay. So, we'll need these. We're also going to need Impassion, because we never know if we might need it. Might as well get rid of Grand Press, because we have Yggdrasil. So, place you with Earth Pulse, probably. And Millium has Crescent Mirror already, so that's fine. Get Breen Adamantine Shield. And probably Crescent Mirror. I have another one. Yep. So wait, no one has Phantom Phobia, right? No, Millium has Phantom Phobia. It'd be better to do that to Pro. Do I have Crystal Rain somewhere? I might. Actually, wait, I gave... Oh, no, she has that. Yeah, this would be better to give to Pro. Oh, the decisions. Chrono Drive, Earth Pulse, Yggdrasil. Okay, we should all have a healing move. What does I just give us again? Yeah, I'm on shield by default, which oh, we got Earth Pulse by default. There's no point. Get La Crest. I mean, what we could do, chat, is just S-Craft spam, but we'll have to see how this works, because Reen is definitely... I'm not using Septine Vein. That's not going to help us here. Alright, well, Reen does have Maelstrom, so that could be helpful. Earth Pulse might be nice. Do I have anything else that could be useful? Great. Oh, actually, that could be good. Restoring CP by attacking enemies on the field. We're definitely going to be short on CP during this situation. But if we're going to have Reen have fire, he needs to have... Let's give him Volcanic Rain. So, sorry, Alyssa. Make Reen our Battle Mage. Yeah, Septime Bane is useless here, so... Fair enough, Rekor, fair enough. I feel like after this, basically, when we get to a save slot, and that's where I will try to wrap things up. I know we're going later than usual, I've just been excited, because lots of things are happening. Oh well. What was I looking for? I'm looking for a thing... Where is it? Was it Phantom Phobia? It might have been. Oh, wait, no. It was... No, I gave it a Volcanic Rain. Am I being dumb? I think I'm being dumb, chat. It's late. It's late. It's definitely late. Phobia would be good, though. Add that and see. Oh, actually, no, Earth Pulse would be good. Yeah. Earth Pulse. And... If it was Soul Blur... As much as I like Soul Blur, it's a fun attack. I think we'd be better off having, what is it called? Grim Butterfly, probably. Alright, Grim Butterfly. Alright, everyone, chat, we're getting close to tapping out. Fair enough, fair enough. Can I? Oh, wait, I can save the game. Never mind. Alright, chat. This is where we save the game. So, I'm actually going to wrap things up right here, everybody. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to stick around for a raid. But if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube. You can always change your mind later, and it's a great way to show support. If you're watching on YouTube, have an awesome night.